rude.
I offered.
You did, and I was like, okay, he's going to join right on in, and then you sit there and just talk and eat wings.
Then she started talking about ACC football, and
I lost you. Yep. That's the problem. Yep. That's why he's little Josh Stone, because he's just not on there. I also have a guest here. His name is Casey Jones. He is a captain of Highway 58 Fire Department. He's on camera. He's got that big ugly A on there, but hey, that's just how it rolls around here.
Roll Tide, Tide.
Not to be confused with the Casey Jones that fights with the Ninja Turtles.
He could do a lot of things. He's a great fire captain of Highway 58 Station 1, so that much I can. He's a really good supervisor. AJ Sports Bar and Grill is female owned since 2016. Y'all have met my AJ. She is an internet sensation. I had someone ask me last night, why is she not on your show? Well, it's up to her to come on back. She has an open invitation. So, with that being said, they have the most amazing food, and the wings are out of this world, aren't they, Josh?
Oh, they're the best ever.
And they go and they serve everything. They have bar food, but they also have steaks, and they cook to order. They have side items that are just like okra and stuff. So with a complete kitchen, huge assortment of beers. How many of them?
16 different beers on tap.
And then they got 10 different beers in bottles. Exactly.
I have to add that now.
I know. And so go to AJ Sports Bar and Grill at 6238 Bonnie Oaks Drive and go in there. Now, this is a secret. You cannot tell nobody. No one knows this except me and you. If you go in there any day of the week, any night, to get an adult beverage or to get something to eat or whatever, if you go in there and say, I need to speak to AJ, I want to speak to AJ. It's only just going to happen. And then say, I need the Sportz Guys table. The reason you're going to ask for my table is you get 15% off your bill.
She's going to hook you up.
She's going to hook you up. She done told me she would. But you have to ask for that table. That table only. And she knows which one it is because I eat there all the time. Now, there's a word that you should know. And you should know now, being the fans of the Sportz Guys, that word is root to fruit. When I think of fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, the freshness of nuts and berries, the freshness of a real fruit stand, root to fruit. They're located at 3660 in the half Ringo Road, just above Amigos there. Go in there and see Courtney. Let me tell you about Courtney. Courtney goes through every bag, everything, even the celery. If it looks bad, she pulls it off. If it's bad enough, it's gone. Or it's going to be done at a reduced rate. Courtney takes care of that produce stand. There's not another place in Chattanooga you should go to get fresh fruit and vegetables and fresh nuts and berries than Root to Fruit. You need to call them at 423-827-0880. And that is where you get your fruit, your vegetables. Don't go to these other places, these big box stores. Go to Root to Fruit and tell them a Sportz Guy said, hey. So when you think of real Italian food, real Italian food, the spices are fresh. The sauces are fresh. Go to Portobello's on 4922 Highway 58. They got the music, the ambiance, and they got my corner seat. Go back there, take your special person, your special wife, girlfriend, whatever, and go back there and get that special lasagna, stromboli, or those pies, and enjoy the real Italy. I almost think I'm in Italy.
You close your eyes and you're there.
Exactly, because you hear the music and trying to figure out what it's singing about, but it's good. If you're tired of paying storage bills, and I know a lot of people are, and you're afraid your stuff's going to get stolen, then go to L&K Portable Buildings, a premier building dealer on Lakeview, 3532 Lakeview Drive in Rossville. Talk to Kerry, but I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to tell you I'm the boss, because for the whole month, 5% off every building, no credit check, and your monthly payment's going to be less than paying storage fees, and you'll have it on your own property. And they sold the 12 by 32 that she shed I was talking about. But I'm going to tell you something. There's another one out there, and you need to get it before it gets gone, because I claim that it was sold off this radio station, and they are going to enjoy my she shed.
Oh, yeah.
If you're looking for a real estate lady, the award-winning Donna Darns of Crylock Realtors in the Ottawa office She is the real estate guru. Her clients love her. I'm one of her clients. She has a no-cost evaluation of your house. She has the passion and energy just like I do on this show. She will stop until she finds the perfect house for you and your family. Call her at 238-5440 or 544-1906. She is my 5-star point guard. You know, before we do this thing with the high school stuff, I went to the CFC event today. And with that being said, there was an announcement made, and it's pretty big. It's breaking news. I couldn't go in with the Sean Hannity and stuff, but I am going to break it in this show. So my producer, Jason, is going to take care of it, I think. I'm waving to them. What prompted you to decide to bring ownership and allow the public to come in? What was the contributing factors to all this?
It's, you know, we've always done it a little different way at Chattanooga FC. It's always been about the community. And you know, we knew about the Packers, and again, in different countries around the world, like in Germany, community ownership is actually required to be in the league. And so it was just always a great idea to have fans who are owners and have a say about the club.
These dry erase boards that were just signed.
So it's, you know, we've been dreaming of it really since our first year.
With you doing this, does this change the amateur ability of the athletes so that they can play in colleges and that kind of thing?
Well, it capitalizes the club in a way that will allow us to expand our season. That's for sure. You know, again, what's attractive about this is giving fans the ability to own a share of the club. But a side effect is, you know, it does also bring money into the coffers for us to be able to spend to pay players and expand our operations.
Do you have any plans in the future for a stadium or continue staying and playing at Finley?
Not right now. We're very happy at Finley. We entered into a new contract with them recently for 3 years, and Finley's always been our home, and we hope it always will be.
Who is your coaching staff this year?
So we have Bill Elliott coming back with a new associate head coach by the name of Peter Fuller. Mr. Fuller has done he has won a couple national championships at the University of Mobile. He's worked at the Philadelphia Union, so he's worked at the highest levels of soccer in the U.S., and he's a very highly regarded coach.
Chris Chattanooga Radio Sports, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
We had that interview. So we had that interview. I turned them down way too much. I guess it was pegging out, and they get after me when I peg out. So I try to turn it down, and too much. With that interview, it doesn't have anything to do with high school football, but it does have to do with local sports. So I figured this out. I'm not the mathematician that everybody thinks I am, but every now and then I pull an ace out of the card. So they want 8,000 people to invest in CFC, which they'll get.
Oh, big time. Easy.
At $125 a share. So if 8,000 people invested in that, that's $1 million. $1 million to run CFC. Now, they average about 3,400 people a match. And seeing some of the videos, I wish Finley was full like that for the Monks.
Yeah.
So with that being said, they're going to, they sell all the shares at 1 share per person. That's $1 million. They'll do more than that.
Oh yeah. Easy. Now I know, going into the high school stuff, you've got a football story you want to talk about, but I have one too that's kind of shorter than what yours will be.
Well, go ahead with that.
Lookout Valley announced today they named Josh Payne their head football coach. Pretty much his entire family, except for him and his mom, graduated from Lookout Valley. He graduated from Eastridge in 2004. He's 32 years old, and he has spent time. Has had 12 years combined as an assistant at Eastridge and Signal Mountain. Signal Mountain, he was there for the past 5 years. The past 2 seasons as a defensive coordinator, associate head coach, and strength and conditioning coach. And last season, Signals Mountain defense held 5 opponents to an average of 7 or fewer points per game. So that's a pretty big hire for Lookout Valley.
Lookout Valley's got him a real. Not that they haven't had a real coach, but looks like they're going to have somebody to take that program to the next level.
Yeah, and that's what he's wanting to do. He went to games as a kid, so he knows all the everything, and he's ready to push them up to state playoff power.
I mean, as a coach, and you come from a bigger school, and you come into your home school, you want to do very, very well. But I do know, been to some games with Lookout Valley, there's a lot of pride in that community.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And whether they win, lose, or draw, they draw a pretty good crowd, and it's just a tradition for everybody that go to that school, play football. And then, at one point I did a jamboree in Marion County, and they had like 7th, 8th graders on that team. I mean, they start early and they build that program.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wish them luck with that.
Yeah, great luck.
I'll tell you one thing, just to add on that real quick. I've got a nephew that actually plays for Lookout Valley. Been to a couple of the games down there, and like you said, Chris, the energy that they have, the fans and the fan base that they have down there. There's so much fan base for that school. Being a middle and high school combined there, they're just that new coach, I think, will bring a lot of good to that school as well. Good players, good kids, and real good community.
And I said, it doesn't matter what the record is. They're going to play hard for the coaches, and every coach who's been there really gave a really good. They spoke highly of everybody there. So I didn't go to that school system, but based on what I've seen, maybe I should have. It would have been fun.
Yeah, you'd been a Yellow Jacket.
You would have been in one school. Where I went to school, you had a separate building from the high school. We were so big, and we were still big for the middle school, and it was falling apart. And then we came to the high school, and you get shocked when you're up, you're way up there in numbers, and there's 600 or 700 of you when you walk in as a freshman class.
That's a huge
700,
class.
and then we graduated with 620.
Wow.
So in 4 years we lost 80 kids.
It's not bad.
No, and it's even bigger now. The schools, I had to build another school. But, when you're that athlete and you're going to that small school, you're going to see some development. Those coaches are going to work very closely with those athletes, and you're going to see a teamwork. It may take a little while, but based on what he's done at Signal Mountain and based on the stats he has, it will be a good fit for them.
Yeah, and it speaks to the defense that Lookout Valley will have. Signal Mountain last season holding 5 opponents to 7 points or fewer. That's something to be excited for, especially if you're a defensive player at Lookout Valley.
You have another story about Macaulay over there?
That's basketball. Do you want to do your football first, or you want to go into basketball?
Go ahead and do the basketball.
You want to do basketball? Okay. February 1st, Macaulay is going to be doing their annual Dr. Pepper 10 Classic. And they are touting this as having the most future NBA players ever. The teams involved in that are Holy Spirit Prep out of Atlanta, and they're
a big time school.
They
are
are
not
top 3 nationally ranked. No, excuse me. That's not the IMG Academy out of Brayton, Florida is top 3.
Oh yes.
But the Holy Spirit is 2-time state Georgia champs.
So you got those. They started it out. They had a great schools last year, and they're just continuing to bring those in.
Yep. They also have Hamilton Heights out of Chattanooga, Macaulay, of course, and then on Saturday, Notre Dame will play Darlington out of Rome, Georgia. So
wow.
And
I wonder if in these classics like that, does the record count if they beat this team?
It does in college, so I would assume that
even though they're playing a team from Bradenton, Florida, it would go on the stats for nationally.
Yeah, which if you upset one of those 2 teams from Florida or Atlanta, you
might get a little look from the max prep people or whatever.
Yeah. If you're interested in going, that is starts Friday, February 1st. Admission to the games are $20 per day for general admission or $75 per day for reserved courtside. Saturday schedule includes the third game, as I mentioned, Darlington and Notre Dame. That's at 4 p.m. Followed by IMG and Holy Spirit at 6 and Hamilton Heights and McCallie at 8. On Friday, February 1st, Hamilton Heights plays Holy Spirit at 6 and McCallie and IMG follows.
There's also a slam. Is there not a
there's
slam dunk contest?
Yeah, there's a where did I see that?
Right there.
Yeah, there's a the Steam Logistics Dunk Contest for selected players on Friday afternoon, and the Platinum Bonding Company 3-point contest is on Saturday night.
So you're gonna get the slam dunk on one day and the 3-point the next day. You know,
And
I know
five-
how exciting that is in the NBA. Can you imagine that in high school?
Oh yeah, and then five what are going to be great basketball games over the course of 2 days, Friday and Saturday.
So if you got nothing to do this weekend and you're
No,
not
it's not
interested,
this week. It's February 1st and 2nd.
so the 1st and 2nd, then
Yeah.
you need to put that on your schedule.
Exactly.
You know, speaking of McCallie, there is a junior there by the name of Jay Hardy, and his stock is booming. I mean, just booming. He is 6'5", 265. He's a 4-star athlete.
He's got a long list of colleges
he
looking
has
at him too.
20 different colleges looking at him. Those schools include all the Power Fives, like Tennessee, Georgia, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, LSU, Northwestern, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Virginia Tech, TCU, Virginia. Do you see the flow here? Florida Atlantic University, Coach Kiffin offered.
No, he's expected to be on campus at some point in the coming week.
Penn State coaches are expected to be on McCallie's campus in the next few days.
Jeremy Pruitt was on campus earlier
This week. So, you know, coaches are coming to Chattanooga to visit the kids.
Yeah.
You know.
And I know you as a Tennessee fan are happy to see Coach Pruitt.
Oh,
out and
yeah.
about.
I want him out. He said, I get text messages starting from early in the morning throughout the day into the night from coaches. He got a text from Oklahoma the other day before I even made it to school.
Wow.
I picked up more than 500 Twitter followers over the last few days. It's changed my focus a lot of just over the last few weeks because now I kind of know what could be out there for me. He's going to attend junior day at Tennessee this weekend, but he isn't in any hurry to begin narrowing his list or make a commitment. He said, the biggest thing I want to see is want to develop a relationship, who I've developed that relationship with, where he feels like home is, said Hardy. He also added plans of adding a major in engineering. So,
Did you say that he's going into his junior year or into his senior year this year?
He said junior.
He's going into his junior, so he's got 2 full years to improve and to impress. And I guarantee you that list of colleges that's sitting at 20 right
Probably
now,
be 100 before you know it.
Yeah, it's going to double or triple.
And not to mention his grades are probably way up there.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, getting that amount of colleges interested in him right now, yeah, his grades are up there. They have to be.
And it's just amazing. We were talking about this yesterday, how being an athlete and being recruited, how much, I mean, can you imagine? You're in the shower and you get out of the shower and then you got Lincoln Riley hitting you up at 7 something in the morning or 6:30 in the morning, and you're, hey man, what are you doing? Are you still thinking about us or whatever? You know?
Yeah. I mean, is a lot of people can't fathom it, you know. But I mean, it happens, and that point in case right there.
It does. We're going to breaking it down here. We're in the first segment of the high school hour. We have one more to go, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the Sportz Guys. We thank you so much for being a part of this show. This show is dedicated to putting the sports out there, entertaining but clean and fun. I am Big John Christopher, Josh Stone, Casey Jones in with us today. This is like being at a table and just talking about sports and getting an opinion. So call us 800-8949. That's 800-8949. We'll be right back with you momentarily. We are the Sportz Guys here on Nougat Radio 92.7. We'll see you in a minute.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A man with ties to Chattanooga charged with raping a Maryland woman in a 1993 cold case. Sheriff's officials in Charles County, Maryland tell WTBC's sister station, WJLA, Vincent Wayne Jones of Tennessee briefly lived in the Chattanooga area. Authorities are digging into his past to determine if there's any criminal history in Chattanooga. Representative Chuck Fleischman named ranking member of House Appropriations Homeland Security Subcommittee. Statement from Representative Fleischman says he's excited about his new role in the 116th Congress and ready to get to work to defend our nation against the challenges of today and the threats of tomorrow. And food assistance available for Tennessee Valley residents affected by the partial government shutdown. The Chattanooga Food Bank says Hamilton County residents affected can call 211 for emergency food assistance. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News Now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
By now, you normally hear a kicker intro bed and me telling you why you need to buy a car or truck. This is not that ad. I want to share with you the great experience that we've had at Z Motors. When Nooga Radio was looking for a Hummer, I went to Z Motors. They have over 100 vehicles on the lot, and Phil was happy to spend all the time necessary with me, point me in the right direction. If you're looking for a Jeep Wrangler, hey, you'll find more Jeep Wranglers there than anywhere in Chattanooga. Pre-owned cars, a slew of Audis, BMWs, from a 1934 Ford truck to a 2017 Volt, a Volkswagen Jetta, and a 2018 Tundra. Plus, they can find any vehicle you're looking for. You're not going to find a big fancy showroom. See, those costs at the big dealerships are added to your purchase price. You want to call Philip at 423-240-8869. That's 240-8869. On Facebook, just search Philip Clark Sales Manager for Z Motors. It's Philip Clark Sales Manager for Z Motors. Z Motors. They're right on the corner of Hickory Valley and Shelliford Road, in front of Chattanooga Wine and Spirits. And don't forget to say hi to Rhonda, the pretty McCall at the front desk.
MLS 2239. We will beat any national mortgage company's rate all day, every day, guaranteed. I'm Ben Phillips, and a financial analyst acted upon that statement and called his local mortgage company, Home Rate Mortgage, to buy his dream home. We close the loan in 23 days, while the national guys, they usually close in 40. Home Rate Mortgage is your local mortgage company in Tennessee. Again, Home Rate Mortgage will give you the best rate all day, every day, guaranteed. So let this story be your story and call Home Rate Mortgage today, 805-9100, and there's no cost and no obligation. So why wouldn't you call 805-9100 or HomeRateMortgage.com?
Turn a house into a home. Home Rate Mortgage.
Join We've Got You Covered with Scott Schrader every Saturday from 10 to 11 on Nooga Radio. From finance to fixtures, we discuss everything you need to know about buying or owning a home, the pitfalls, the perks, and everything in between. Saturday mornings from 10 to 11, right here on Nooga Radio.
Whether you have marginal, moderate, or even extensive hair loss, you don't have to live with it. Finally, there's a procedure that becomes a part of you, and it requires no daily maintenance or special care. Let Apollo Hair Systems give you a free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 423-803-1011 and schedule this free evaluation today. Open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Apollo Hair Systems, 5512 Ringgold Road in Chattanooga. 423-803-1011 for Apollo Hair Systems.
If an uncertain economy and runaway stock market is making you think twice about how and where to invest, you may need some professional help. Talk to a local husband and wife team who have seen it all. Ron and Christy Adams with One Family Financial. The Adams have helped clients navigate through bull markets, bear markets, recessions, bubbles, and booms. And they have the experience to put your assets to work for you while minimizing risk. Find out how Ron and Christy can keep you on track for a long, happy, worry-free retirement. 423-710-2009 or go to onefamilyfinancial.com.
A few lingering showers still possible through your nighttime hours. Lots of fog and drizzle as well, with temperatures holding into the lower 40s. Now for your Friday, lots of clouds, but drier and a little milder. Highs back into the mid-50s. For Saturday, though, more areas of rain with highs near 60. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. serving the entire tri-state area, and check rlsouthernrealty.com for their complete listings. And I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist at your 4.
The radio 92.7.
The Sportz Guys are back on town and back in Chattanooga. Welcome to the Sportz Guys here on Nooga Radio 92.7. I'm Big John Christopher with Little Red Josh Stone. Big Red, whatever. That's just her opinion. He's still listening to Josh Stone to me. We thank you for joining us. You can call us at 800-8949. That's 423-800-8949. We appreciate you being a part of our show. It would not be a show without you. You are the intricate part of this whole thing, and we want you to be there. I'm trying to put us back on the air here. But one of the things that Josh is going to do for me while I'm doing this is he is going to give you the schedule of what games are available tonight, high school wise. And a lot of them have started, but you might still make it for the boys game.
Well, first we're going to go over a score from Tuesday night that we did not have last night, and I apologize for that.
Sure, go ahead.
Tuesday night for boys basketball, CSTHEA Patriots defeated Georgia Cumberland 42-37.
Okay.
As far as tonight is concerned, you have Baylor at GPS. That is the ladies. They tip off at 5:30.
So they're pretty much probably in the third or fourth quarter by now or halftime.
Yeah, I'd say halftime. And then you have Howard at Richard Hardy, East Hamilton at Saudi Daisy, Ottawa at Hickson, Marion County at Sequatchie County. The girls tip at 7 and the boys at 8:30.
And that's in Central Time now. I mean, the times are given is Eastern, but they're an hour behind us, so there's an hour later. So
then you have Arts and Science at CGLA and North Sand Mountain at South Pittsburgh. And also in wrestling, you have Cleveland at Walker Valley. That match started at 6.
Okay.
Chattanooga Christian and Hickson are at Central. That match started at 6, and the Georgia High School State Duels started in Macon tonight.
So some North Georgia schools could be involved in this. I know that Chickamauga has a pretty good wrestling program.
And Gordon Lee,
yeah.
LFO should be in it.
Ringo and all them should be. Ringo has an exceptional program. Hey, call us at 800-8949 if you're a high school student or a high school coach and you're listening to this. We invite you to call, and if you're not playing a sport tonight, let's talk about your sport. But you can call us at 800-8949. Casey, you were talking about your nephew playing at Lookout Valley, and you said he's a two-way star. What is his name?
His name's Jarrett Adams.
Okay.
And he plays both football and baseball. So he's done several different sports, but he plays those two mainly for Lookout Valley, and he's been playing those since he was started middle school there, and so
if you don't know what Lookout Valley is, they have a middle high school basically. It's like Signal Mountain has a middle high school, and so they all interact with each other all in the same building. Unlike what I went to school with at Farragut, you had a middle school that was huge, and then you went to even larger high school. So you're already playing those high school sports when you're 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah, which I think works because, I went to Ridgeland and we'd had Chattanooga Valley and Rossville Middle School that combines to go into Ridgeland High School. So I know it was always fun when Ridgeland coaches would come watch the football, the baseball games, kind of preparing for the next season. And I'm sure it happens more often with the middle high school combination like that.
But, one of the things I wanted to bring up is we have a sport that does not get much press at all.
Yes, bowling. We're going to give it some press.
Now, when I was in high school, and that's been more than a long time ago, we had PE. In the second semester of PE, we got to go to the bowling lanes for PE.
We did that too.
And so we had to take tests every day. how to score and all that kind of stuff. And then we got the bowl, for, I don't know, it seemed like a couple of hours.
You had to take tests on bowling?
Before we could even get to the bowling alley, the coaches that ran the PE made us take bowling tests. And if we didn't pass with a 90 or better, we couldn't go bowling.
Is this a written test, or is this like an actual, like you bowl and have to knock the pins over to get?
No, this was an actual written test.
Okay.
See, the part of it was they had to have scores. They had to give you, you had to be dressed out. Dressed out meant you had to wear shorts in the spring or whatever, but you had to wear tennis shoes. You couldn't wear dress shoes or nothing like that. So to be counted as dressed, you had to have tennis shoes on to go to the bowling alley and
weird.
take tests.
When I was originally, we'd take attendance and they'd be like, "Hey, get on the bus. We're going bowling." Okay.
Well, it's like I actually went. Saudi Daisy. I actually was on the bowling team for about a day. Just to throw that out there. I've got some very good friends. I bowled a little bit in some leagues while I was in high school. But a good friend of mine, he stuck with it. He still bowls to this day that I went to high school with. Haven't seen him in a long time. Give a shout out to him, Chris. He's a good dude, and he got the same name as you there, Chris. So,
okay.
So that makes it all right?
Yeah, it makes it great.
But he actually was one of the people to like my Facebook post about being on Nooga Radio.
That's awesome.
So wanted to give him a little shout out there. But he is a very good bowler, and that's definitely better than I ever was at bowling.
Huh. Well, with that being said, trivia question. How do you score a spare when you've got a strike?
How do you score a spare when you have a strike?
Yeah.
It's on the 10th frame.
Very good. See?
I enjoy bowling. I know a little bit. I know 3 strikes in a row is a turkey.
I thought 3 strikes and you were out.
3 strikes and you're out. So finish just bowling.
But the individual part of the TSSAA state bowling tournament starts today in Smyrna, Tennessee. Macaulay and Notre Dame boys and GPS and Baylor girls will compete in the Division II team quarterfinals tomorrow afternoon. No area Division I teams advanced to Smyrna, but Ray County's Bailey Shipley, a 208.81 season average score, and Philip Rogers, a 204.92. Walker Valley's Natalie Harrow, 195.90. And Jacob Brown, 200.94. Arts and Science, Tyrus Nelson, he had a 189.93 season average. Bradley Central's Michaela Stewart had a 182.41. And Saudi Daisy's Haley Burks had a 146.57.
So for the day that you were on the team, what was your average there, Casey?
I can't remember my actual average. I can remember that my highest ever bowling game was a 233.
That's pretty darn good.
Those averages that you read off there, Josh, there's for high school students, that's really
killing
good.
it.
Yeah.
That's killing it.
Yeah. Also for Saudi Daisy, Kelsey Burks had a 138.08 and Jace Perry had a 185.35. They all those names we just listed qualified for the individual events. Local D2 individual qualifiers are Notre Dame's CJ Purton, who scored a 205.56. Griffin Lee had a 175.83. Tarek Griffin had a 168.48, and Gretchen Eckler had a 139.66. Macaulay, Andrew Hahn had a 188.78, and Jeff Harriamas had a 183.44. Baylor, Dalton Chuba had a 181.83. Abby McNamara had a 141.65, and Maya McGee had a 137.61. And rounding this out, GPS's Emily Prostko had a 144.59. Caitlin Beach had a 138.97. Ali Foropolis had a 138.86. Notre Dame was 19-1. They will face Christian Brothers, who is 12-3.
Wow.
While Macaulay had a record of 7-8, they will play Pope John Paul II, who was 11-1. Those are 1:00 Eastern on Friday. The Baylor girls were 8-2. They will take on Saint Benedict, who is 11-1 at 4, and GPS, who is 6-7, matched against Pope John Paul's at 9-1.
So that is your bowling. I mean, nobody talks about bowling in high school.
We just did.
We just did, though. And you know what? Those kids will letter. And, you know, they'll get their little stripes for doing it if they do it for the whole time.
And the jacket.
And who to say that one of these might be one of those PGA or be a professional bowler somewhere down the line.
Exactly. I mean,
that one that had like 205 for a high schooler. I don't know any adults you can do 205 on an average.
Well, the Bailey Shipley from Ray County at the 208.81 average, that's impressive.
That's a lot of strikes.
Yeah.
Jeez. I'll tell you one thing, too, coming out of that with so many kids going into that sport, and you don't talk about it a lot. But the thing is, one thing that you see on television, you see a lot of football, high school football that's aired on television. You see some basketball games that are aired on television, some baseball games from high school. You never see bowling aired on television for high school.
No.
And that might be something that as these kids are doing more and more higher averages, that might be something that might come up here in the next couple of years.
Another sport that is not, I don't think, is aired enough. And I like it. I just don't get time to do it a lot. I have this. I play firefighter with you, Casey. I have family. But fishing. When I was in school, you did not have fishing teams in high school. But now when they have in the spring, when they have those big tournaments up there in Dayton, there's high schools that are out there practicing just like you do for football or whatever every day.
Yeah, it's catching on in the high school ranks, which is good for the Bass Pro.
I mean, those kids, and it's females, males, female and male, male and male. I mean, it doesn't matter. But those kids can go out there and catch some fish.
Yeah, the only thing with that right now is it's limited to certain high schools. That's the only downfall. Some of your smaller schools are not getting or being able to participate in those. And I would like to see that, move forward to those smaller schools. And it may be a thing about money. It may be something to do with
sponsorships or something. But, you get a place like Lookout Valley. There's enough community involvement and business out there. I mean, the expenses, you think about this. You got to have fishing rods and reels for everybody. You got to have a boat. And the boat's probably the biggest expense you get. I mean, you got to have I'm sure there's standards as to what you have to have. Probably getting a coach is probably a little tough because not every coach knows about fishing. And I'm sure there's like a set guidelines of, what they have to, be and, rules and stuff like that. Not to mention fishing tackle is not cheap.
No, it's not.
No, and a lot of people start making their own when they get into that. They'll start making their own. And like I said, with Lookout Valley, it's funny that you mentioned that. My nephew that I brung up about the football, I would say he's probably the best bass fisherman I think I know. He's always wanted to do that and be on a high school team. And that's something they don't offer there where he goes to school.
And see, here's the thing, is that they offer college scholarships for this. I mean, the college part of this in some realms is as big as college football, basketball, any big sport, track and field. I think it's probably more popular than like track and field because, quite frankly, you don't have to be 6'4" and 265 and a 5-star athlete to be a great fisherman. You could be 5'1", 110 pounds with pigtails, and you wear a dress and go out there and probably catch more fish than guys do. It's a very competitive field, and there's a lot of guys out there and women that make a lot of money. Ask Pat Rose, who's on this radio station now, how much money is out there for professional fishermen, and bringing it up in the high school ranks. I think it's something that should be addressed by the TSSAA, that every school, no matter what size, should be able to at least be able to raise the money and find out if there's kids out there that want to do this, because being in the athletics that I was in, it kept me busy. It kept me out of trouble. It kept my grades up. I worked on my craft, and I had fun doing it, just like I'm doing this now. But the remnants of what I did back then is what I am doing now. So, there's guys that are my age that are in my high school class that are professional fishermen. I see pictures all the time on Facebook that have these big old bass and stuff. So maybe we could start a petition drive here.
Well, and I think, when I was in school, I went to Soddy Daisy, and we had a small school, Sequoia High School, that was a vocational school. And, those kids had to come to Soddy to play sports. If they went to that school for something, they had to play sports with us. And you saw a lot of schools that did that back then, where they combined together. The schools that didn't have them, they could send their players to other schools to play those sports. And I think that's something maybe they could start out too. If you can't obviously get the fishing team at that school, maybe allow those students that want to go to another school and be a part of that.
And I'm just speaking of here in Chattanooga and the sales that I do. There's enough businesses and enough money in this city that two things should happen. Number one, every football field should be a turf field. Every school should have a turf field. There's enough money here to do that. I'm just going to say that up front. Every school should have a baseball and softball field with dugouts and everything.
Don't go to Brown.
Well, I'm just making the point. Every school, high school, should have, and if they have middle high school, should have all of that.
Well, wasn't it just a few years ago, Howard just brought back their...
They brought their baseball team program,
and
the Braves made them team of the year or something, and gave them a bunch of equipment because some people in Chattanooga couldn't help them out.
I was over there about 2 weeks ago, and that baseball field, they're still working on it, but it's looking nice over there.
I remember covering football games over there and looking over at the softball field, which is probably now the baseball field. Or
the way they got it is the football, and then there's the softball field is here, and then the baseball field is on the other side.
One of those fields was looking rough. The grass was like over taller than me, and the point of it is those things should be funded, not necessarily by the school system, but the communities ought to get together like they do at Lookout Valley and other places and get the money. Number two, if they want to have a fishing team, they should have it. And you're right, Casey. If Lookout Valley doesn't have one, what's the next school up with them?
I'm trying to think of their next closest school that would be.
So it wouldn't be like a way out of drive. It's not Marion County, is it?
It may be Marion County. That might be the closest one for them, just for the simple fact of
Sail Creek would have Dayton and other places. I mean, if they don't have everything, then they could go to Dayton or whatever.
Well, I think CCS would be closer to Lookout Valley because it's right at the bottom of the hill, the mountain.
Either way, if you got that kind of that's a big old shark.
I was just about to say that.
That's what they call it. His name is Big Blue. But every school should be able to participate. Even if you don't have it, you should be able to go to the nearest school and be a part of that team.
Speaking of fishing, send them high school kids down here to catch that big shark.
That shark is 20 tons. No, thank you. And then people swim with that thing. Been all over the internet sensation there. But yeah, what is it with that? If there's enough sports that everybody wants to do that, in Texas they have high school rodeo teams.
Oh, I mean, see that. That sounds awesome.
I mean, why not?
That sounds really awesome.
I mean, you definitely have to sign a waiver for that one, though.
Yeah.
There's a waiver, but you know what? If there's a sport out there and you can keep the kids off the streets and they can learn something new and they can go to the next level, besides doing the normal sports that Title IX entitles them to have, why not? Why not have enough programs for those kids?
Yeah.
And that's what this program's about. It's about the kids. This first hour is about the kids. So We're talking. I mean, any school should be able to have things like fishing and things hunting. Maybe
look at what golf and tennis has done in high school here
they
recently.
Excelled
big time.
It wasn't very big. It was okay. It was pretty big at my school, golf and tennis, but it wasn't like it is now.
There's a girl named Ashley Harkrow that is from Chickamauga, went to Gordon Lee, played tennis there, and she played in
She's played in those big. She plays in the professionals.
Yeah.
So I mean, and there's probably kids out there, as Casey has said, that could go to the next rank to be in the Bass Pro big series there. Why not? So that's why the Sports Guys has this hour, and nobody else does, because we talk about those issues.
The market's out there for little stuff, sports like that to go professional now.
I think so. Hey, you're listening to the Sports Guys here on Nuga Radio 92.7. Big John, Christopher, Josh Jones, our guest Casey Jones, here with you. And you are a part of the Sports Guys. Thank you. We're going to take a little break. Be back. We have all kinds of stuff to talk about. See you then.
The station you hear everywhere.
Nuga Radio 92.7. 3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news. Now.
A man wrecked his car when he veered into a ditch to avoid a wrong-way driver. It was all caught on dash cam video. It shows a truck driving the wrong way down Cassandra Smith Road in Hickson, narrowly avoiding a collision. And reports say that other driver kept on going. Police are trying to track him down. Hamilton County construction workers broke ground on the new Charles Coolidge Medal of Honor Heritage Center at 10:30 this morning. The new facility will honor the 20 Tennessee Medal of Honor recipients. A Chatsworth man is going to spend the rest of his life behind bars after he pleaded guilty to shooting his wife to death. Cops say Oliver Cannon stole a gun and used it to murder his wife. He then shot himself in an unsuccessful suicide attempt. He was arrested. Reports say the opioid and hepatitis C epidemics might be related due to needle sharing. Russell Stroud, Nuga Radio News, 92.7 Action News, now.
A few lingering showers still possible through your nighttime hours. Lots of fog and drizzle as well, with temperatures holding into the lower 40s. Now for your Friday, lots of clouds, but drier and a little milder. Highs back into the mid-50s. For Saturday, though, more areas of rain with highs near 60. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area, check rlsouthernrealty.com for their complete listings. And I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist at report.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
As a small business owner, you know that running a business is no easy task. You're in the office and on your third cup of coffee before most even roll out of bed. That's why you need office equipment and solutions that help keep your business running smoothly. The experts at RJ Young provide office technology that ensures your business's network stays efficient and secure, so you can focus on what truly matters, growing your business. To discover how RJ Young can help your small business grow, visit rjyoung.com/smallbusiness.
Hey folks, Jeff Stiles here, talk radio host and infamous technophobe. But I got to tell you, this Facebook Live that Nuga Radio does, it makes sense to me. It really does. Now, we're at 92.7 on the FM dial, but really where you need to go is NugaRadio.com and just do the streaming audio, 8 to 10 a.m. The first hour is mostly just me just throwing commentary on top of the news. The second hour is me frustrating and irritating you beyond all belief. NugaRadio.com. Don't miss it every weekday.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Even if you like your job, there are some things that can drive you nuts, like the anonymous coward who steals your lunch from the break room fridge, or maybe Tyler, the IT guy, who gives you that condescending look when you tell him that your computer is acting up again, as if somehow it's your fault. You put up with these clowns every single day. But what happens when you've had enough? That's the day you decide to retire. At least that's the hope, right? But will you be able to retire? Can you afford to retire? That's why you need to talk to Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial. They can't do anything about Cody, that moron who heats up fish in the microwave, but they can strategize with you on how to get the most out of your 401k or pension, how to grow your money without losing your shirt in the market, and how to help make your money last in retirement. Talk to Ron and Christy today about whether you'll be ready to retire when you finally had it with seeing Ethan walk out of the bathroom again without washing his hands. Gross. Call Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial, 423-710-2009, 423-710-2009.
Get back there, you dang Yankee! Great horny toads, I'm up north. Gotta burn my boots. They touched Yankee soil. Lay down your arms and step forward, Yankee.
What's the hassle, Schmassel?
My orders from General Lee is to hold the Macy-Dixie line, and no Yankees are crossing it.
President Trump pulls the plug on Speaker Pelosi's overseas trip.
This tit-for-tat amounts to a dramatic escalation of tensions.
Day 27 for the government shutdown.
The number of federal workers seeking unemployment benefits doubled.
Former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen says he rigged polls.
Cohen is directly implicating the president.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition.
I'm Jim Sheneby. President Trump sent a letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi today, informing her the overseas trip she was about to embark on would have to be postponed on account of the government shutdown. Correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
As Commander-in-Chief, President Trump has the power to prevent military planes from taking members of Congress overseas, and the president tells House Speaker Nancy Pelosi her trip to Brussels, Egypt, and Afghanistan has been postponed, quote, due to the shutdown. Pelosi's trip had not been publicly announced, and in a letter, the president says if she'd like to continue her journey by flying commercial, that's her prerogative. The letter is almost certainly a response to the speaker's effort to delay the State of the Union address until after the shutdown ends, and it only heightens the tension between the country's two most powerful leaders.
The president's letter riled Pelosi's fellow Democrats, including Senator Tim Kaine.
This guy is so unbelievably petty. And this is bullies everywhere are petty, insecure people, and that's what this move demonstrates.
The president accuses Pelosi of strong-arming her fellow Democrats to shut down any negotiations.
While many Democrats in the House and Senate would like to make a deal, Speaker Pelosi will not let them negotiate. The party has been hijacked by the open borders fringe within the party.
Meantime, the shutdown does continue. Day 27. CBS's Steve Dorsey.
380,000 federal workers are furloughed, sent home without pay. Of those, at least 10,000 have applied for unemployment benefits, according to the Labor Department. Usually, fewer than 1,000 former apply for jobless benefits each week.
The president's former personal attorney was dishing more dirt on his former boss today. Michael Cohen says he worked with a tech firm to rig 2 online polls before the presidential campaign and did it at the direction of Mr. Trump. CBS's Paula Reed.
By tweeting out that he was directed by the president to do this, Cohen raises more questions about possible campaign finance violations committed by the president or his campaign. We really would need more details about when these polls were allegedly rigged, but this is sort of a preview of the new kind of revelations we can expect in Cohen's much anticipated hearing next month before Congress.
On Wall Street, the Dow gained 162 points to 24,370. Now this.
Tonight on CBS, catch new episodes of The Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, and Mom. Then don't miss the new comedy Fam, followed by Shamar Moore and SWAT. Tonight on CBS.
Peekaboo, peekaboo, smile.
Smile, buddy.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy. You know how boys are.
Or maybe he's teething. Oh, poor baby. I think his gums hurt.
Maybe he's just tired.
Or maybe his tummy hurts. He didn't eat that much.
Maybe he's not ticklish.
You think maybe he's scared of the dog?
Maybe he'll outgrow it. Maybe it's a phase. Maybe he just doesn't like smiling.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs or see a doctor today for an autism screening. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better. And it can make a lifetime of difference. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
California appears to have survived the latest onslaught of heavy rains without any devastating mudslides.
Thankfully, things are going to be improving. They're starting to improve now. The front moving on shore, and the heaviest rain moving on out.
Brian Hurley at NOAA's Weather Prediction Center. The storm now moves east, where it's expected to drop heavy snow and ice on a path from Missouri to Maine.
The going forecast still has pretty high probabilities of at least 4 inches for New York City, and even 4 to 6 inches for Boston at least.
Day 4 in the Los Angeles teachers' strike and a new round of contract talks got underway. Union President Alex Caputo-Pearl.
This struggle is about this contract, and this struggle is about the $1.98 billion reserve, and it is about the $140 million extra dollars that the governor's budget gives to LAUSD that should be going to classrooms.
You're listening to the CBS World News Roundup.
3, 2, 1. Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A man with ties to Chattanooga charged with raping a Maryland woman in a 1993 cold case. Sheriff's officials in Charles County, Maryland, tell WTBC's sister station, WJLA, Vincent Wayne Jones of Tennessee briefly lived in the Chattanooga area. Authorities are digging into his past to determine if there's any criminal history in Chattanooga. Representative Chuck Fleischman named ranking member of House Appropriations Homeland Security Subcommittee. Statement from Representative Fleischman says he's excited about his new role in the 116th Congress and ready to get to work to defend our nation against the challenges of today and the threats of tomorrow. And food assistance available for Tennessee Valley residents affected by the partial government shutdown. The Chattanooga Food Bank says Hamilton County residents affected can call 211 for emergency food assistance. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News Now.
Nooga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
A few lingering showers still possible through your nighttime hours. Lots of fog and drizzle as well, with temperatures holding into the lower 40s. Now for your Friday, lots of clouds, but drier and a little milder. Highs back into the mid-50s. For Saturday, though, more areas of rain with highs near 60. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area, check rlsouthernrealty.com for their complete listings. And I'm Storm Dean 12 Chief Meteorologist at Report.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Where can you find exotic surroundings, fine dining, and a taste of Italy tucked away in Chattanooga? On Highway 58, you'll find Portobello's. They serve up food just like Mama used to make, but without the extra helping of guilt. Portobello's has fresh, homemade pasta and signature dishes sure to please, bringing you back for more. Just like Mama, the folks at Portobello's are always happy to see you and always happy to meet your friends. Call ahead for delicious takeout or just show up for their amazing Portobello's menu. Portobello'sChattanooga.com. Chattanooga's home for the finest Italian food.
Space, the final frontier.
Whether it's a man cave, she shed her office, L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales has your space. The perfect portable building just for you. L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales is a premier building authorized dealer. You tired of paying high storage fees, lack of security, and not having easy access to your stuff? Then L&K has the building just for you. Or if you're looking for a mini home or the perfect hunting cabin, L&K has the building that will convert perfectly. Free delivery up to 50 miles. No credit checks and low monthly payments. Call L&K today at 706-858-0077. 706-858-0077. On Facebook, search L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales. 3532 Lakeview Drive, Rossville, Georgia. L&K's featured storage unit this month is a center cabin 12x32, featuring 15% off. L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales. Call 706-858-0077.
All the other guys are a bunch of weenies.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Woo! The Sportz Guys are back in town. Second quarter. I am the Sportz Guy, John Christopher. Josh Stone. And a guest tonight, Casey Jones from Highway 58 Fire Department, Red Bank Fire Department. Big Spacey captain up there. Loves his sport and likes that big A. I'm so sorry you got to endure this on Facebook. because he's right there in the center. But that's okay. Go Vols.
They put the best in the center is what it's
They
for.
did. It did. You made that comment. We always have the best show when we're off the air, but at least he doesn't have that Garnett on. Like Eddie over here.
Kevin Garnett? What are you talking about?
Oh, that Garnett colored looking. Garnett. Whatever. Whatever you Florida State. All I know is 98 Garnett. We beat you. We're national champions in 98.
Okay, I thought it was garbage.
How many times has Tennessee been back to the national championship since 1998?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter because we've won 3 since then. So
when they're actually doing that. Oh, they're actually just saying no. That's what they're actually doing.
You see, this is how this whole next 2 hours is going to go because we have so much fun. When you talk sports with your friends, we thank you for being a part of the Sportz Guys. We wouldn't be around except for you. You make us who we are today. You on Facebook, on my page, on YouTube, and on Nooga Radio 92.7. You make us, and we appreciate that. One of the things that I pride myself on is we try to appease a lot of folks. But the thing about it is we talk sports. And that's the safest thing right now in America right now is that we're able to talk about who's number one, who's not number one, and it's all in fun. So with that being said, when you think of Root the Fruit, I keep telling you, you're going to remember this in the day going forward. When I think the root to fruit, I think of fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, nuts, apples, you name it, they've got it. Cheese. I had some Amish cheese that was Colby. And I had some other cheese, Gouda cheese, that was Amish cheese. Go to your normal square box store and buy you one stick of Colby cheese. I challenge you. Cut it up, put crackers. I do mine crackers and cut some sausage and put it on crackers and watch my games and stuff. That's my snack on the weekends. Then go to Root the Fruit at 3660 and a half Ringo Road. Go in there and ask for Courtney and say, Courtney, the Sportz Guy said, I want some Amish cheese that's Colby, and buy you a thing of Colby cheese and take it home, cut it. You're going to see a difference right off the rip. Put it on your crackers with your sausage, and it's going to be amazing. You're going to go, wow, what have I been missing? They even have strawberries the size of Texas, and they have large pans of strawberries. They'll do fundraisers for your athletic departments, for your recreation departments, all that. So you need to call them at 423-827-0880 and ask them about fundraisers, because they do a lot of them. They did North Jackson High School last year for strawberries, and North Jackson made a lot of money off of it because they have the freshest vegetables and fruits around. This week, cabbage is 29 cents a pound. Navel oranges are $3 for $1. Grapefruits, $3 for $1. A cup of tomatoes for Mater sandwiches, $3. 10 pound of Idaho russet potatoes, $2.99. All greens are 99 cents a pound. Cut turnips are fresh at 49 cents a pound. And sweet onions are 99 cents a pound. When you get done there and your wife says, Casey, I want a new house. You've mentioned to me you want a new house. I have the lady for you. Her name's Donna Darns of Cry Like a Realtors. She's a 13-year veteran. She took me to 60 different houses, and she found the perfect house for me. And the rest is history. But she has a free, no-cost evaluation for your house, and she will not rest until she finds that perfect house for you. Call her at 238-5440 or 423-544-1906, and she will take care of you. She is my 5-star point guard, and she's award-winning as of Monday night. If you're tired of paying storage bills, it's time to get a building. L&K Portable Buildings at 3532 Lakeview Drive. You can pay the amount of money you're paying for storage and get a nice she shed or a man cave or your own podcast building for next to nothing. If you go down there and tell them the Sportz Guy said he was talking about some buildings, well, I'm in charge. Carrie's doesn't give me the ability to be in charge. 5% off all the buildings. They sold the 12 by 32 that they get 15% off, but I guarantee there's another one down there. So call Carrie at 706-858-0077, and they will take care of you until the Sportz Guy said, give you a good deal. We were at AJ Sports Bar and Grill last night for 50-cent wing night, 75-cent takeout. Had a great time.
It was a blast.
AJ is going to be here in the next 3 weeks. She is an internet sensation on the Sportz Guys. And she said she wanted to learn more about sports and be a part of the sports world. Her husband is a Dallas Cowboys fan, so she watches the stuff. She watches the sports. We're going to teach her.
Yes, we are.
She has amazing food, from wings to 1-inch steaks, cooked to your choice, with great side items like fried okra and vegetables, all kinds of stuff. She has a huge assortment of beers, 16 of them.
16 on tap and another 10 in the bottle.
10 in the bottle. So you got, 26 beers to choose from. And here's the thing. I keep telling people this. You better listen to me. There's a special table in that bar. You have to ask for AJ, and you have to say the Sportz Guy says there's a special table, and I can save 15% off my bill. But I have to sit at that table. She will tell you where that table is, and you'll get 15% off. That's the only table in there. So make sure you, anytime, lunch or dinner or late at night, if anybody's sitting at that table and they mention the sport and they were looking for the Sportz Guys table, you get 15% off. You hear that, Casey, right?
I hear it.
Okay.
That's a pretty good deal.
It is a real good deal. Doesn't count for alcohol or anything, but it does count on the food.
Has she picked her favorite team yet?
For who?
Has AJ picked her favorite team?
She is a Dallas Cowboys fan.
But it's college-wise.
We have not discussed that.
We'll have to discuss that when she comes in.
When she comes back in here, I'll invite you in when she comes in, and we can have that discussion.
Just tell her Roll Tide, and she'll pick Roll Tide.
Oh, Roll Tide, okay. Well, I might tell her Go Vols, or he might say, ooh.
No, not for this year. Maybe next year.
But if you want a real Italian food, the only place that comes to mind is Portobello's at 4922 Highway 58. Special sauces, special spices, you name it, they got it. So go over, listen to the really good music in that corner, and you take your lady and get you some special food there. Portobello's, 4922 Highway 58. I have so much to talk about.
There's a lot going on in sports right now, all across the board.
We're going to start out locally. So I went to a press conference today. I met a reporter from the Chattanooga. I met a reporter from Patrick Brown from the Times Free Press. We sat at the same table, and we talked. We had a good time. But Chattanooga FC announced Thursday that you can be an investor. You just have to go online to their webpage, and for $125, the first 8,000 people can be investors in the Chattanooga FC. Now, this is the first time a sports team has done this besides Green Bay. There's no other soccer teams that do this or other baseball teams.
Not in the United States.
Not in the United States. They do this all the time, and they were telling me,
Germany, wasn't it?
In Germany, they're required to do this. But for $125, you can go to Chattanooga FC's page there and become an investor. They got 8,000 pieces of paper that says you can be an investor. That equals up to, at $125, $1 million to run that team. But you're still an owner. So Tim Kelly and all them that run that down there have come up with a really nice way for the community to be a part of this. Now, also, there is news out of the opposing. There's a war going on.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard this, Casey? There's a war. The Chattanooga Red Wolves is the new professional paid soccer team that is coming in. They're going to be building a stadium where they can play soccer, and they're going to be competing competing against the Chattanooga FC
who's been around since 2009. There's kind of a little war going on. They kind of stuck their foot in the ground today, and they had the mayor there, and he made this comment. He says, "We're not going to let Eastridge take over Chattanooga." That's kind of a rip on Eastridge.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
Are they? Have they found out a place where they're going to supposedly put this stadium and everything?
Well, they're going to play in Eastridge at Camp Jordan. So that was a slap on Eastridge, because the Red Wolves are going to play in Eastridge at where they play baseball and all that other stuff.
It's a nice little complex out there, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice out there. They got plenty of ground. Maybe that's where they put their stadium. I'm not sure.
After that comment, I would be surprised if they didn't put it out there on that complex.
So there's a little war going on, but if you want to be a part of the Chattanooga Football Club and be an investor, go on their webpage. $125 to get you an investor. You get a share of the team.
Is that a one-time investment, Chris?
They didn't say. They're taking, only 8,000 people can do it. So it may be the fact that they may open it up more, and it may be, I think when they do Green Bay, it's a one-time deal. You put your money in there or whatever. I think it's a one-time deal.
Right, because, they've got money coming in, obviously, from...
Yeah, they average 3,400 people a match.
They've got plenty of ticket sales, and that's nothing that they're not down on money as far as ticket sales or anything.
This is a ploy, or not a ploy, but this is a sort of a, hey, we're here first. We're the big dog. There's not room for two soccer clubs in Chattanooga.
Right, they're going to establish their dominance here in Chattanooga.
I mean, they've been here 10 years and they're averaging 3,400. They have the Chatahooligans, and those people are the big staunch backers of this. And that Chatahooligans bunch is huge. I was at camp, this place downtown, kind of swanky, and Camp House. It's down there by UTC, and there was a lot of Chatahooligans there. The number here is 800-8949. It's 423-800-8949. If you're a Chattanoogan, you want to talk about the Chattanooga FC, you're more than welcome. I'm open to talk about it. I don't have an opinion either way. I am a sports announcer. I'm a sports guy. I love sports. So I really want to support my teams here. So now I got an interesting story about the NBA. Casey, you're welcome to chime in. I talked to you about this when we were off the air, and Josh, he kind of employed his Florida State stuff, but this may be a debate between me and you. The NBA and its wise wisdom, and I think this is smart, and I'm wondering if the NFL will follow suit, or Major League Baseball, or soccer, or any of the big-time sports. I would even so much to say college football or the SEC could step out and do this and be ahead of everybody else, even though most of the time they are anyway. Here's what the deal is. The NBA refs are going to answer questions about calls in real time over Twitter on a selective games for the rest of this season, starting with the 2 games next week, which is the Golden State LA Lakers game on TNT, and then the San Antonio Spurs, Philadelphia 76ers on ESPN. Those are the first 2 games they're going to do this. Fans can tweet the official NBA refs over the they can tweet at official NBA refs or use hashtag RefWatchParty to get responses from real NBA refs who are watching the game.
This is a terrible idea. I mean, social media is just blowing out of proportion with this, and Twitter's just going off the charts, and they're going to make, millions off of it for people.
Wow, of course they are.
And I mean, all these people are going to be putting in these requests to these NFBA or NBA, refs that are probably getting paid by the NBA to answer these questions. So now we're paying extra people to sit on their couch at home to answer your questions about sports questions that you may not have the answer to. I mean, you see somebody that travels, and it may be a little bit that you think, he may not have traveled, but I read something during the break, and, it's like they're asking questions like, what is the definition of a step? if you don't know the definition of a step for basketball.
Now, let's debate this for a minute. A step in NBA basketball and a step in high school basketball is not the same. The rules are the same because it's basketball, but it's not the same.
Right, and I get that. I mean, you've got, obviously, a step in NBA is bigger than a step in high school.
Try doing Steph Curry step where you step forward, step back to shoot that long three in high school, and you're going to be called for traveling.
Right, I understand that, yeah, and I just think that...
No, I mean, I'm just using it as an example. If you're going to ask that, my question would be, why is it that the rules of basketball, whatever they may be, and the rules in college and the rules in high school are not the same? So if I'm playing defense against him, which would be Casey, and I'm kind of bumping into you like LeBron does, and then he goes up and then the guy hits him on the arm or whatever. In high school, if I do that, that's a charge. So those would be the type of questions that this guy would ask.
Right, and I think you got to look at the big picture of everything that they're trying to get out. I think a lot of it could be used for good. I think a lot could be used for the simple fact of just understanding the calls that these refs actually call. There's a lot of people that don't understand some of the rules of basketball. I mean, we've got to understand that. But who wants to spend your entire basketball game tweeting about every little thing that happens?
I wouldn't tweet about everything that happens, but some of those flagrant fouls that they have where they're having to look at the time and if it's a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2, I think that's where they're going to get the most hits on it.
I think every personal foul is going to be, I mean, that's one thing. Any charging foul, anything traveling, those are going to be the big ones I think that get looked at the most.
But so the NBA is going to be on Twitter Live, NBA officials, and you're going to be able to tweet them. Let me give that to you again because you might want to write it down. It is at official NBA refs or hashtag ref watch party.
Advice from Casey Jones: just watch the game. Don't tweet the refs.
I mean, there'll be so many there. I don't know how they're going to answer all those anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be over 1 million tweets in the first game. I bet you.
Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous.
It will be, but have to give it to them. It's a marketing genius way of getting fans involved. Now, I would also like to see them do something with the All-Star game, like in the 3-point contest and all that stuff, using Twitter that way for a fan vote.
I could see that. I could see you putting that out there. I mean, a lot of people can, you can create polls on any social media.
Sure.
And I think that that would be a good way to reach a lot of fan base for sure, by having that poll out there. And not necessarily just, because everybody in this tech world is now going to social media, everything.
Can you imagine Major League Baseball doing this?
That would be.
Or college football for targeting.
Well, they're changing the rules for targeting again.
I know that, but what I'm saying is having that for targeting and having that, having the ability to talk to those officials for each individual sport.
They do it in football. You're going to have about 1 million to 2 million tweets per play.
Well, it's the same way with NBA.
Yeah, especially in college football, you're going to look at so many more. I think NBA is going to have a lot come out. They moved it to college football. You're going to have so much more because I can tell you right now, if you just look at some of the playoff games that they had in past year and the bowl games, all the targeting calls that were called just in those games alone, the amount of tweets that would go through, I could name probably 100 tweets that I would have sent in the first 2-3 games that I watched.
Yeah. How many was just sent in the championship game?
I mean, I think that I could have probably spent quite a few, but I have to do it the game.
There have been some, I could say the NFL
going, hey, Brian, you call that home, because you can call home every play. You're listening to the Sportz Guys here on Nooga Radio 92.7. I'm Big John Christopher, Josh Stones, and Casey Jones. So let's roll out of here. We'll be right back.
3, 2, 1. Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news. Now.
A man wrecked his car when he veered into a ditch to avoid a wrong-way driver. It was all caught on dash cam video. It shows a truck driving the wrong way down Cassandra Smith Road in Hickson, narrowly avoiding a collision. And reports say that other driver kept on going. Police are trying to track him down. Hamilton County construction workers broke ground on the new Charles Coolidge Medal of Honor Heritage Center at 10:30 this morning. The new facility will honor the 20 Tennessee Medal of Honor recipients. A Chatsworth man is going to spend the rest of his life behind bars after he pleaded guilty to shooting his wife to death. Cops say Oliver Cannon stole a gun and used it to murder his wife. He then shot himself in an unsuccessful suicide attempt. He was arrested. Reports say the opioid and hepatitis C epidemics might be related due to needle sharing. Russell Stroud, Chattanooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
MLS 2239. We will beat any national mortgage company's rate all day, every day, guaranteed. I'm Ben Phillips, and a financial analyst acted upon that statement and called his local mortgage company, Home Rate Mortgage, to buy his dream home. We close the loan in 23 days, while the national guys, they usually close in 40. Home Rate Mortgage is your local mortgage company in Tennessee. Again, Home Rate Mortgage will give you the best rate all day, every day, guaranteed. So let this story be your story and call Home Rate Mortgage today, 805-9100, and there's no cost and no obligation. So why wouldn't you call 805-9100 or HomeRateMortgage.com?
Turn a house into a home.
By now, you'd normally hear a kicker intro bed and me telling you why you need to buy a car or truck. This is not that ad. I want to share with you the great experience that we've had at Z Motors. When Nooga Radio was looking for a Hummer, I went to Z Motors. They have over 100 vehicles on the lot, and Phil was happy to spend all the time necessary with me, point me in the right direction. If you're looking for a Jeep Wrangler, hey, you'll find more Jeep Wranglers there than anywhere in Chattanooga. Pre-owned cars, a slew of Audis, BMWs, from a 1934 Ford truck to a 2017 Volt, a Volkswagen Jetta, and a 2018 Tundra. Plus, they can find any vehicle you're looking for. You're not going to find a big fancy showroom. See, those costs at the big dealerships are added to your purchase price. You want to call Philip at 423-240-8869. That's 240-8869. On Facebook, just search Philip Clark, Sales Manager for Z Motors. It's Philip Clark, Sales Manager for Z Motors. Z Motors. They're right on the corner of Hickory Valley and Shallowford Road, in front of Chattanooga Wine and Spirits. And don't forget to say hi to Rhonda, the pretty McCall at the front desk.
Join We've Got You Covered with Scott Schrader every Saturday from 10 to 11 on Nooga Radio. From finance to fixtures, we discuss everything you need to know about buying or owning a home, the pitfalls, the perks, and everything in between. Saturday mornings from 10 to 11, right here on Nooga Radio.
Whether you have marginal, moderate, or even extensive hair loss, you don't have to live with it. Finally, there's a procedure that becomes a part of you, and it requires no daily maintenance or special care. Let Apollo Hair Systems give you a free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 423-803-1011 and schedule this free evaluation today. Open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Apollo Hair Systems, 5512 Ringgold Road in Chattanooga. 423-803-1011 for Apollo Hair Systems.
If an uncertain economy and runaway stock market is making you think twice about how and where to invest, you may need some professional help. Talk to a local husband and wife team who have seen it all. Ron and Christy Adams with One Family Financial. The Adams have helped clients navigate through bull markets, bear markets, recessions, bubbles, and booms. And they have the experience to put your assets to work for you while minimizing risks. Find out how Ron and Christy can keep you on track for a long, happy, worry-free retirement. 423-710-2009 or go to onefamilyfinancial.com.
Nooga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
A few lingering showers still possible through your nighttime hours. Lots of fog and drizzle as well, with temperatures holding into the lower 40s. Now for your Friday, lots of clouds but drier and a little milder. Highs back into the mid-50s. For Saturday, though, more areas of rain with highs near 60. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area, check rlsouthernrealty.com for their complete listings. And I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist at your 4.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
We're at halftime on the Sportz Guys. We just come out of halftime. I'm Big John Christopher. Redhead Josh Stone. Well, he used to have hair. Red beard. And then I've got the amazing Captain Casey Jones in the back, who's made some very valid points here. And, you know, the NBA is going to crash Twitter. That's just all I'm going to say.
That's my bet. My bet is the NBA is going to crash Twitter with the official tweeting.
So, news and notes of around Chattanooga. The Chattanooga Red Wolves added a director of game day operations to their staff. Kevin Friedman, director of game day operations for the USL League One team. He is responsible for general day operations, stadium management, opponent liaison, ensuring all USL League One requirements are met for the match. According to the Red Wolves president and general manager Sean McDaniel, Freeman will be vital to the success of the club's game day experience. So they're hiring folks. Those people are bringing in people to take care of them. UTC wrestlers are going to host VMI Sunday at McClellan Gym for the first time since early November this weekend. Mox host VMI to open Southern Conference action on Sunday, January 17th. Doors open at 1 o'clock at McClellan Gym, with the match set to start at 2. Reminder to all fans, 10 UTC's clear bag policy is in effect for McClellan Gym.
Speaking of UTC, I got some football news right here. University of Tennessee Chattanooga has added defensive back Cameron Brown to its commitments for the 2019 football recruiting class. Brown is a 5'11", 180-pound defensive back. He's from Theodore, Alabama High School, and was chosen to the Alabama Sport Writers Association Class 7A All-State second team this past season after earning honorable mentions as a junior. He also played in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star Classic back in December, and he chose UTC over offers from Southern Mississippi, Louisiana Monroe, Kennesaw State, Mercer, and Austin Peay.
Very good. And also, if you're out and about and you're listening to us, UTC is taking on Mercer tonight at 8 o'clock at McKenzie Arena. UTC is 8-10 and 3-2 in SoCon play. Mercer is 6-11, 1-4. I'm predicting victory for UTC.
They've got a doubleheader Saturday at McKenzie Arena.
And then the women Mox played at 5:30 today. You might want to look the score up for me. Versus Wofford. They played at McKenzie Arena. UTC and Wofford. Wofford's 10-7 and 2-0, and UTC is 6-10 and 1-0 in SoCon play.
You know, it's been a long time since I've been to a Mox game, but I drove by there the other day, and man, they were packing the place out. They were really packing the place out for basketball in there in the McKenzie Arena there.
You know, if you've ever been there, oh my gosh, it's a great experience. And sitting up courtside and watching the game and covering it, you get such a feel how those players are and how the coaches interact and so forth. It's just a lot of camaraderie. Yankees signed Adam Ottavino to a 3-year, $27 million deal. They're already fortifying their bullpen deep, and Ottavino struck out 112 batters, and he had a 2.43 ERA for Colorado last year. So the Yankees are getting themselves probably the best bullpen in baseball.
Hands down.
But you can't pay for. You can do like the Miami Marlins did and pay for it, but you're never going to get there.
No. Before we talk more baseball, the UTC Lady Mocs defeated Wofford today, 89-82.
Very good. Katie Burrows, congratulations, you to the Lady Mocs. Great game.
Let's see. Speaking of baseball, the Phillies, we've been talking about for days, they want Bryce Harper. Now they're saying they're going to go after Mike Trout in the 2020 season.
I'd rather have Mike Trout.
Well, they want Trout and Harper. That's a dream team for them. So that is a big possibility.
Trivia question for you.
Okay.
And you'll have to look it up. When's the last time Philadelphia won a World Series with that kind of having that kind of star power? While you look that up. I want to go ahead and give you, for those who love basketball, and I love the tournament time, and it's coming up in a couple of months, the conference schedules for all the conferences. The American is going to be played in Memphis, the 14th through the 17th. The ACC is playing in Charlotte, 12th through the 16th. This is all in March. American East, March 9th, 12th, and 16th. The Atlantic 10 is in Brooklyn, 13th through the 17th. The Atlantic Sun is at the campus sites, March 4th through the 10th. The Big East is being played at the Madison Square Garden, the 13th through the 16th. And the SEC,
they moved
to Bridgestone Arena this year.
They moved from Atlanta to Nashville.
Exactly. They kind of go in between. Big. And then Bridgestone from 13th to the 17th. And your ACC, which I didn't bring up.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's in Charlotte. So those are big conferences are having it's all between the 12th, the 11th through the 17th, basically, is when most everybody's. And then right after that, we're going to have March Madness, and we're going to have so much fun with that because we're going to have to do a bracket. And Casey can be a part of this too, do a bracket.
Hey, we got a call.
We got a call here. You're on the Sports Guys. Go ahead.
I want to talk a little bit about UTC basketball.
Well, go ahead and talk about UTC basketball.
Man, when they going to get rid of that coach, they are horrible, man, and they are not packing that UTC arena out. There's 8 people in there the other night.
Is this for the men's team or the women's team?
The men's team. They're horrible, man. Have you seen them?
I have not seen them this year.
John Shulman's team down there at Chattanooga Christian probably beat UTC.
Huh. I might need to come down there and watch them because you're the first caller that's called and said something about it.
It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Save your money.
Pretty much we need to go watch the women. Then
anything else you want to talk about while you're on the air?
Nah, that's it, man. Y'all take care.
Thank you so much for calling the Sports Guys. See you. Well, okay.
Didn't know that about the men.
I didn't know that about the men, but
I've been slacking in my college basketball watching this season. I'm disappointed to say that. I need to start watching some more because I've been slacking. You asked about the Phillies.
I did.
Can you guess the 2 seasons they won the World Series? They only have 2.
So they have 2 years. I probably can't, but I guess my question with you was, would they have the star power that they're looking to get in any of those 2 seasons that they won the World Championship?
Well, I was not born in 1980 when they won their first one, so
okay,
I can't tell you.
That's what Mike Schmidt, right?
Believe so. But the 2008 team. Let me see if I can.
That had been the year that the Sports Guys started.
Yes, I feel like they had a pretty big.
They
had great pitching staff that year. If you'll give me a few seconds, I'm pulling that up.
While you're doing that, I'm going to talk a little NASCAR.
One more thing on baseball.
Sure.
It's been in the news, obviously, about and not to get into politics too much here on the Sports Guys, but
sure.
The Boston Red Sox are still yet to go to the White House. They are still waiting to get that invitation. They have the invitation. I think it's just time that they get up there and actually enjoy that moment.
I think so. I think, when you win this championship, you should go. I'm not going to get politically here, but an invitation, you should go. That's just all me. Respect the office. 5 intriguing changes for 2019 for NASCAR. The package in the Cup Series will see action. It's the same team. It's the changes. They're really eager. One of the things that you're going to see is same team, different car. I mean, one of the questions here is how long will it take Chad Knass to actually visit the wrong box for the weekend? I mean, they have changed so many things. The Cup Series road course will see a major change in its circuit this year. Walking Glens is not going to run the boot, but Sonora Raceway is going to run the carousel. I mean, I know a lot of people don't follow that, but the boot to me and I don't really like the road course. Makes it interesting. And then NASCAR also named Jay Fabian Cup Series Managing Director. Those are some of the things that that's going in NASCAR. Martin Truex is going to be a big force for this year. And let's see, what's wrong? Oh, okay, he's playing around here. Oh my goodness, I got the Argonaut here.
Do you have a question?
Please do.
We were talking about the Red Sox, and they haven't made it to the White House yet.
Sure.
What's the food of choice going to be? More hamburgers? I mean,
okay. You want to? Let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong with what was bought there. He bought it with his own money. Those kids.
Oh, I know. He made sure. He said, I paid. So
the point of it is those kids eat hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, and pizza.
That's what they want.
That's what
they eat.
You were just eating that last night at the remote.
No, I had wings, thank you. But the point of it is that's what they eat. So why so many people got offended? I mean, Michael Strahan, I'm gonna give him steak and lobster. Why?
Well, give me steak and lobster.
I'll take the lobster.
Look, it's not the mere fact that he did fast food for the Clemson Tigers. It's the fact that no one has brought me fast food.
I was supposed to have barbecue, but it didn't happen.
I work just as hard as the Tigers did this year to get the national championship and win it at this very radio station, but no one's offered me a hamburger.
No, wait a minute. I brought you wings today.
You did, and they were good.
They were the best in town, weren't they?
I will put them up there number one.
I most certainly would. But yeah, let's discuss this. You want to get me started? Because I can really talk about this. There was nothing wrong with what they got for food. The government's in a somewhat shutdown.
Somewhat. They are shut down.
We'll have to get partial shutdown here. So the government can't pay for lobster and steak. So you get hamburgers and hot dogs.
Look, I just looked at my payroll stub. Tax was still tucked out. So I'm just saying we can't pay for steak. Really? Really?
Are you buying me lunch tomorrow? You owe me lunch.
Do I owe you lunch?
You do. You do.
I work here.
I do too. I have zeros.
I have less than zero, negative zeros.
So call us 800-8949 if you want to talk burgers and fries or any other sports. Hit that button over so we can have some air in here, Jason. They're killing me.
No. If myself and Jeff have to do Fred the Show in here with no vent, you have to do the Sportz Guys.
The problem is that y'all got that stupid A on. It should be a T.
Well, you know what the A stands for.
Not very good.
I can't say it on
it
the
should
air.
Be. I mean, it could be a C. I mean, come on. Clemson did beat y'all.
They did. Alabama was outplayed, outcoached.
So
how am I supposed to argue with that? When you play like crap, they're going to lose.
They quit on you. They quit on Saban.
I can't argue.
Did you argue that they quit?
They did quit.
They weren't even in the game.
They weren't prepared. They got their.
They wanted. I'm surprised people didn't sit.
They got their tails stomped. You can't defend that. I can't defend that as an Alabama fan. Sorry, I can't.
And you're a true fan, are you not?
I am. But I know a good butt whooping when I see a good butt whooping, and that was a good butt whooping.
So what is your idea? What is your thoughts and opinions on the NBA's where you're going to be able to hit a referee up on Twitter over calls? Do you think, are you with Casey? You can get on that other one over there.
You want my honest opinion?
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
I don't care.
I turned you off.
I don't care because I don't follow the NBA.
I mean, okay, let's make it like real sport here. Let's make it the SEC, and you have a big call. It's Tennessee and Alabama. It's a targeting call, and it might be targeting. It might not be targeting. Everybody's opinion is different on targeting. Are you going to hit up those officials on Twitter to say, how are you calling this targeting or how are you not calling this targeting?
No.
Why not?
I don't.
There's no reason to tweet
Well,
official
There's plenty of reasons to tweet
when you can watch the game and just live with the decision that was made.
But I'm going to tweet the official with different questions like, have you seen the Lions Club? Have they provided you eyeglasses? When was your last eye exam? I don't care how the call was called. Because ESPN or CBS is going to give me a great review because they have the high-dollar equipment.
Yeah, they got all the cameras.
I just got a smartphone. But my question is, when's your last eye exam? Is your contact prescription up to date? Those are going to be my questions.
Or is Saban paying you well?
Right. Or, hey, if we do it in the NFL, how much did Tom Brady and crew give you this week?
Are the balls currently inflated to the proper level?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So here's the thing. They're starting this, but you know that it's coming to the NFL.
It's going to carry over.
It's going to carry over to the college. It could even would you carry it over to high school?
No.
Junior high school
Because
football.
They don't have reviews or anything in high school.
And that's really just a bunch of old people
that
out
needs
there.
to, I'll be honest with you, reviews need to come in high school.
I agree. It needs to trickle down to
It needs to, it's there. They need to have it.
And honestly, let's look at the high school referees, okay? These are just random people that they've selected to go through a little 4-hour class to just call these plays.
To blow a whistle and throw a flag.
I mean, we're not talking big time money people here. We got somebody who can hold a first down marker sign, then we're good.
So you think that because they take a little 4-hour class, should you as a parent, and I'm going to get into this now because I got time, should you as a parent be out there ridiculing that official who's had a 4-hour class and he makes a bad call?
No, you can do whatever you want to,
but it's not. I mean, you're ruining your children
to set
making it embarrassing them.
To set a good example for your child, no. To
Well,
do it, yes. I mean, it's kind of one of those: do you do you don't? I would,
but I'm not talking about hey, boo, that's a bad call. But you stand up and you make yourself stand out in front of the whole crowd. Hey, you fool! That's a bad. The fool. I mean. They use really bad words. I'm not going to use those words, but you set yourself out from the rest of them. There are a lot of parents that do that.
Well,
and it's go ahead.
And it's showing because they're having a hard time getting basketball officials in high school right now because of that fact. So
I've done some officiating, and it was little kids softball. By God, you call their kid out because he's out. I had to be escorted to the car.
Softball
and little
moms
kids
got
softball.
on you, didn't they? The
softball
moms got on you.
And we're not talking about a regular softball mama. We're talking about one of those one of those bears. And I'm talking about grizzly bear or polar bear.
I'm just making the point.
Or
you're going to give some guy that volunteers to be an official and you play base. You're a baseball coach.
I've baseball.
Tell me, them parents aren't crazy. And it makes those kids, oh my God, what are they doing?
Yeah, it's embarrassing for the kids.
But Jason would do that anyway.
One of those mamas back there, you walk around the side of a car and you go, oh, baby girl. And you turn around the city corner and there's nothing baby about her. One of those top mamas.
The point of it is because you can't get enough people to take a 4-hour course, why they should take the abuse, so why not let them use Twitter?
I mean, you can let them do whatever they want. It's the World Wide Web. It's the 21st century. Social media is ridiculous. I'm just telling you right now, this goes widespread across all.
You're gonna see.
Twitter will shut down. Mark my words.
Here would be my.
Here's
we're marking his words on the Sports Guys. Here would be my tweet. Hey, Ralph, look at your phone. You have a missed call.
If you could drop the mic right now.
But mark my words, ESPN's going to take this, and by the time the Monday Night Football, whoever does, or CBS, or whoever's doing the Super Bowl, they're going to have that just for that
some
game.
NFL games, though.
Maybe
Can we swap to some NFL games for just a moment?
Sure, go right ahead.
And not necessarily NFL games, but Deflategate. We want to talk about Deflategate for just a moment.
You got like 30 seconds.
We got 30 seconds. Let's just wait till after the break, and we can do that.
All right.
Let me throw this out there.
Oh, please.
If we're going to do this for the refs, we need to do it for this very show, this very studio.
Oh man.
Have our very own hashtag something another. I don't care what it is.
Well, you could go to @Sportz Guy John. I have a Twitter account. You can hit up.
I mean, hashtag Sportz Guys, and ask that same idiotic question that you're going to ask. You know, the ref.
Create the
Pop up on
hashtag.
the
I think that would be. I think that
official.
would be an awesome way of doing that.
Just pop up on the Facebook Live right there and ask us.
Yeah, just put it on the Facebook Live. Go, hey guys, XYZ.
I'll do that during the break. What would you ask the dumb question to the sports guys?
And we would answer. There's plenty of that.
Exactly. Now let's get to the sports guys here on Nooga Radio 92.7. I am Big John Christopher, Jason the Argonaut, Josh Stone, Casey Jones, and you that will make the sports guys. See you in a minute.
The station you hear everywhere.
Nooga Radio 92.7. 3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A man with ties to Chattanooga charged with raping a Maryland woman in a 1993 cold case. Sheriff's officials in Charles County, Maryland tell WTBC's sister station, WJLA, Vincent Wayne Jones of Tennessee briefly lived in the Chattanooga area. Authorities are digging into his past to determine if there's any criminal history in Chattanooga. Representative Chuck Fleischman named ranking member of House Appropriations Homeland Security Subcommittee. Statement from Representative Fleischman says he's excited about his new role in the 116th Congress and ready to get to work to defend our nation against the challenges of today and the threats of tomorrow. And food assistance available for Tennessee Valley residents affected by the partial government shutdown. The Chattanooga Food Bank says Hamilton County residents affected can call 211 for emergency food assistance. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Two arrested after a chase in Saudi Daisy. 6 miles into the chase, the driver's vehicle runs off the road and gets stuck in a ditch. Donovan Upton and Jennifer Nisnik arrested. During a search of their vehicle, Saudi Daisy police say they found a large amount of methamphetamine. They've been charged with felony drug possession, among other charges. Officials want to move fast on the new Hamilton County Middle School. They hope to break ground within the next few weeks. Also planned is a new building for Hamilton Elementary. The hope is it'll be enough to accommodate the new workers, which will move into the area at the planned Volkswagen plant. And newly elected Georgia Governor Brian Kemp unveiled plans to assign money to school safety measures and an anti-gang task force in the GBI. Kemp says he wants $30,000 for each school in the state to enact safety measures. Also wants $500,000 to go to the GBI as an initial fund for a new anti-gang task force. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
Nooga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
A few lingering showers still possible through your nighttime hours. Lots of fog and drizzle as well, with temperatures holding into the lower 40s. Now for your Friday, lots of clouds, but drier and a little milder. Highs back into the mid-50s. For Saturday, though, more areas of rain with highs near 60. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area, check rlsouthernrealty.com for their complete listings. And I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist at your 4.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
As a small business owner, you know that running a business is no easy task. You're in the office and on your third cup of coffee before most even roll out of bed. That's why you need office equipment and solutions that help keep your business running smoothly. The experts at RJ Young provide office technology that ensures your business's network stays efficient and secure, so you can focus on what truly matters, growing your business. To discover how RJ Young can help your small business grow, visit rjyoung.com/smallbusiness.
Hey folks, Jeff Stiles here, talk radio host and infamous technophobe. But I got to tell you, this Facebook Live that Nougat Radio does, it makes sense to me. It really does. Now, we're at 92.7 on the FM dial, but really where you need to go is nougatradio.com and just do the streaming audio, 8 to 10 a.m. The first hour is mostly just me just throwing commentary on top of the news. The second hour is me frustrating and irritating you beyond all belief. nougatradio.com. Don't miss it. Every weekday.
Nougat Radio 92.7.
Even if you like your job, there are some things that can drive you nuts. Like the anonymous coward who steals your lunch from the break room fridge. Or maybe Tyler, the IT guy, who gives you that condescending look when you tell him that your computer is acting up again, as if somehow it's your fault. You put up with these clowns every single day. But what happens when you've had enough? That's the day you decide to retire. At least that's the hope, right? But will you be able to retire? Can you afford to retire? That's why you need to talk to Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial. They can't do anything about Cody, that moron who heats up fish in the microwave, but they can strategize with you on how to get the most out of your 401k or pension, how to grow your money without losing your shirt in the market, and how to help make your money last in retirement. Talk to Ron and Christy.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Pam Coulter. A planned overseas flight never got off the ground this afternoon when President Trump canceled the military aircraft for Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other lawmakers in the continuing fight over the government shutdown. CBS's Stephen Portnoy.
Nancy Pelosi's fellow Democrats say the president's disclosure that she'd be traveling to Afghanistan was utterly irresponsible. Majority Leader Steny Hoyer.
Doing this small, petty act is unfortunately all too regular for this president.
A senior White House official says Pelosi, quote, should not leave the country for 7 days in the middle of a government shutdown. But in his letter advising her that he'd scrap the military flight, the president did say that Pelosi would be free to fly commercial. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
The government shutdown is in its 27th day. California Governor Gavin Newsom met with some unpaid TSA workers at the Sacramento airport. He told them to apply for unemployment benefits, even though the Labor Department advised against it.
The message I have of the federal government is let us as states do the job you can't do for yourself. We'll have the back of the American people.
Out of concern for his family, former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen is reconsidering his plan to testify publicly to Congress in a couple of weeks. Cohen advisor Lanny Davis told MSNBC,
there is genuine fear, and it has caused Michael Cohen to consider whether he should go forward or not.
He says Cohen has not made a final decision. One of North Korea's top negotiators has arrived in Washington for expected talks with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. There have been reports that a second summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un could soon be announced. CBS's Errol Barnett.
Before we get to this second summit, the U.S. is going to want to show that it's seen something tangible since Singapore to suggest that talks are worthwhile, but we haven't seen anything just yet.
The president today unveiled a revamped missile defense strategy that singles out North Korea 7 months after he declared the threat posed by Pyongyang was over. At the prodding of Mayor Eric Garcetti, talks resumed today between striking Los Angeles teachers and school officials. The teachers are demanding higher pay, smaller class sizes, and more support staff such as nurses. This parent is backing them up.
Stop starving our students and invest in our students now.
The Dow was up 163 points today. NASDAQ rose 50. This is CBS News.
You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Indeed knows finding the right hire takes time away from your business.
Hiring a qualified data engineer felt like a second job.
More job seekers use Indeed than any other site, so there's no better place to find someone with the skills you're looking for.
I needed someone with a master's in computer science and database experience.
Plus, Indeed screener questions help you find your shortlist fast.
Now I'm back to having just one job.
Get a $50 credit to give your first job posting premium placement at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, quality standards, and usage limits apply. Additional terms online.
The kitchen calendar may say 2019, but if your kitchen's more like 1992, come into the Home Depot for up to 30% off appliance special buys, like a 4-piece stainless steel Samsung kitchen suite, now just $2,978. More than $2,000 off a Samsung fridge, gas range, microwave, and dishwasher. Better mark it on your new calendar. Up to 30% off select appliances. Now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only while supplies last. See store for details. Electric range available at extra cost. Valid through January 23rd.
Another recommendation to change the way we eat.
A group of food, environment, and agriculture experts recommends a plant-based diet. To start with, report author Sonia Vermeulen says
about half of your plate should be vegetables.
Specifically,
on the vegetable side, eat a lot more beans and nuts.
Less red meat, a burger a week, no more.
Meat as a treat or sweet as a treat.
Ideally, eggs should be limited to 4 a week and just 1 serving of dairy every day. The experts are calling for a great food transformation by 2050. Gary Nunn, CBS News.
California residents may soon be able to get home delivery of marijuana. The state endorsed a rule to allow deliveries even in communities that have banned commercial pot sales. Police chiefs and other critics opposed the rule, saying it will create an unruly gray market of hidden pot transactions. Cannabis companies argued too many consumers were cut off from legal marijuana purchases. Pam Coulter, CBS News.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A man with ties to Chattanooga charged with raping a Maryland woman in a 1993 cold case. Sheriff's officials in Charles County, Maryland, tell WTBC's sister station, WJLA, Vincent Wayne Jones of Tennessee briefly lived in the Chattanooga area. Authorities are digging into his past to determine if there's any criminal history in Chattanooga. Representative Chuck Fleischman named ranking member of House Appropriations Homeland Security Subcommittee. Statement from Representative Fleischman says he's excited about his new role in the 116th Congress and ready to get to work to defend our nation against the challenges of today and the threats of tomorrow. And food assistance available for Tennessee Valley residents affected by the partial government shutdown. The Chattanooga Food Bank says Hamilton County residents affected can call 211 for emergency food assistance. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News Now.
Nooga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
A few lingering showers still possible through your nighttime hours. Lots of fog and drizzle as well, with temperatures holding into the lower 40s. Now for your Friday, lots of clouds, but drier and a little milder. Highs back into the mid-50s. For Saturday, though, more areas of rain with highs near 60. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area, check rlsouthernrealty.com for their complete listings. And I'm Storm Fiend 12. She's meteorologist at your 4.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Where can you find exotic surroundings, fine dining, and a taste of Italy tucked away in Chattanooga? On Highway 58, you'll find Portobello's. They serve up food just like Mama used to make, but without the extra helping of guilt. Portobello's has fresh homemade pasta and signature dishes sure to please, bringing you back for more. Just like Mama, the folks at Portobello's are always happy to see you and always happy to meet your friends. Call ahead for delicious takeout or just show up for their amazing Portobello's menu. Portobello'sChattanooga.com. Chattanooga's home for the finest Italian food.
Space, the final frontier.
Whether it's a man cave, she shed her office, L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales has your space. The perfect portable building just for you. L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales is a premier building authorized dealer. You tired of paying high storage fees, lack of security, and not having easy access to your stuff? Then L&K has the building just for you. Or if you're looking for a mini home or the perfect hunting cabin, L&K has the building that will convert perfectly. Free delivery up to 50 miles. No credit checks and low monthly payments. Call L&K today at 706-858-0077. 706-858-0077. On Facebook, search L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales. 3532 Lakeview Drive, Rossville, Georgia. L&K's featured storage unit this month is a center cabin 12x32, featuring 15% off. L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales. Call 706-858-0077.
All the other guys are a bunch of weenies.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
We're back. The Sportz Guys is back. The fourth quarter, that's for you, Jake Weddington.
For people watching the
people listening, the Sportz Guys is about you and us talking about the sports things of the day. I am Big John Christopher, Just Josh Stone, and Casey Jones, Highway 58 Fire Department Station 1. And unfortunately, you have a Tennessee fan, a Florida State fan, and I can't even say the other.
Alabama.
He can say it.
Alabama.
There you go. Okay. So that just means that we have different opinions, and that's what we're about. Because this is like sitting at the table or drinking a beverage and talking about today's sports stories. That's what the synopsis of this whole Sportz Guys is. But the best part about it is you're here. We're here. And we're going to have a lot of fun. But the whole thing about this is we have some friends that like us even more just as much as we do. When you're thinking a real Italian restaurant, Portobello's is the first thing that comes to mind at 4922 Highway 58. Fresh sauces, fresh food, fresh everything. Real Italian food, music, and food. Go out there and talk to them. Tell them the Sportz Guy said, hey. As we were last night, we were at AJ's Sports Bar and Grill. AJ's fed us, took care of us, and we had a great time out there. She is at 6238 Bonnie Oaks Drive. She has a full complement kitchen. You can go there for lunch. I went there the other day and had a good time. Here's the thing. They don't just have bar food. They have real food. They have steaks cooked the way you want it with side-ons like okra and stuff. They have a 10-ounce chopped steak. The other thing of it is they have 16 what? Sorry.
They have 16 different beers on tap and another 10 beers bottled.
So that's 26 different beers. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. If you want to go out there for lunch, you can drink water. They have sodas and that kind of thing. Sorry about that, Josh.
You're good. Just trying to get my attention. I was watching Kaylee Cook on TV.
Right. So 423-485-9080. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I've told Casey, I've told Josh, and I'm telling you, if you go into AJ's Sports Bar and Grill, you have to ask for AJ and tell her that there is a special table that the Sportz Guy sits at. In order for you to get 15% off your bill, which means like your food bill, you have to sit at that table. In order to get that, you have to sit at the table. So you need to ask them, ask AJ specifically, where's the Sportz Guys table? So when you do that, hit me up and let me know what you got it, because I want to save you some money. L&K Portable Buildings is a premier building dealer right there on Lakeview Drive in Cloud Springs, 3532 Lakeview Drive in Rossville. The number there is 858-0077, area code 706. I'm giving you 5% off all the buildings this month. They've got a special building for you. Are you tired of paying weekly storage fees? Why not pay a monthly bill and get a nice building in your yard where you know your stuff is, and you can walk out anytime and get it? So they deliver 50 miles out. So give them a call at 706-858-0077. Award-winning Donna Darn's a Cry Like a Realtor, 13-year veteran, and she is a real estate guru. Her clients, for anybody, she has a no-cost evaluation. She works harder than any real estate agent out there. The Sportz Guys call her the 5-star point guard. Her number is 238-5440 or 544-1906. Call Donna today. You will not regret it. And when I think of fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, nuts and berries, fresh strawberries, Amish cheese. Where do you get Amish cheese, Josh? Where do you get Amish cheese, Casey?
Root to fruit.
Root to fruit.
See, they even know it. Casey's only been here an hour or two, and he already knows what root to fruit is. That means you should know it. So go to Root to Fruit at 3660 and a half. It's just north of Amigos and near the Food City. They have cabbage, 29 cents a pound. Navel oranges, 3 for $1. Grapefruit, 3 for $1. A cup of tomatoes for Mater sandwiches, $3. That's cheap. 10-pound Idaho russet potatoes, $2.99. All greens, 99 cents a pound. Cut turnips, 49 cents a pound. Sweet onions, 99 cents a pound. Go out there and tell them the Sportz Guys have been talking about them, and tell them, they got the freshest fruit in town. I'm telling you, you will not go back to a box store and buy fruit ever again, or vegetables. So we were having a lot of fun with Jason the Argonaut. Yes, he is Jeff Styles, which is from 8 to 10 in the mornings, his producer. He thinks he's an operations manager, but he really is just a producer. He is so funny.
Probably a good thing he can't hear you right now.
It's probably a good thing he can't hear me because he thinks he's somebody important. But the only thing he shares with Casey back there is that big A. And I thought for a minute he might be wearing Atlanta Braves and had the wrong color or something. Something like that. But, it
just hurts your eyes.
It hurts my eyes. I mean, people told me yesterday how my orange was hurting their eyes. Like my friend Leah Roach. Oh, she's a big Georgia fan. And she's like, that orange is killing my eyes. Well, that red kind of kills my eyes too, But, I have to give it, and you can't dispute this, but the last three national championship, who's won that? Who's won 2 of them?
Alabama.
No. Clemson has lost. Clemson has won the last. Clemson's won the last 2 out of 3.
But the last 4, it's been Alabama, Clemson. So
right.
Right.
It's been a back and forth battle the whole time for the last 4.
So this year it'll be Alabama again.
No, it
Coming
won't.
up.
No, it won't. If I'm Alabama's coaches, I don't want to. If I'm a coach, I don't want to go to Alabama because if you leave, you get scolded for 20 minutes.
Yeah, but you got to look at. They got a lot of coaches that are leaving right now, but they've got a lot of coaches that are coming in. I just saw the post. A lot of people think that Sarkisian is going to be the OC, but I really don't think it is.
I don't think he's going to bring him back.
I think Don Easton's going to be put in that position.
I thought Enos left. I thought he left.
I think they were saying that he was going to be put back in that position. I read something. It may have been. I really thought that they were going to actually put him.
Yeah,
in that position.
Enos. I thought Dan Enos was going to was leaving to go to. We talked about it the other day, and I don't remember where he's going.
Who?
Dan Enos.
Dan Enos, and what about? Butch is officially going.
Butch is going to Maryland. He's going with the coach that Loxley, who was his OC. Him and Loxley are at Maryland now. So, speaking of ACC, you have this article back here. I talked about the Big Ten yesterday, and we're going to do this on every Thursday. We're going to talk about a different conference.
Today
is the
ACC.
ACC.
The nice lady that was at AJ's last night. She's a Georgia Tech fan.
Yep. You got a new coach, a new offense. Clemson was 15-0 this year.
They're the all-out heavy favorites early to repeat both as ACC and national champions.
So, question. Is Saban frustrated enough to leave?
He's not going anywhere. Saban's not going to go anywhere, but the thing is, the threat of Dabo Swinney at Clemson's not going to go anywhere either.
No.
You've got to look at that with the ACC. Clemson's the top. You look at the SEC, you've got Alabama as the top. You look at the ACC, Clemson's your top dog. Every year, it's no matter what, they're going to win the ACC every year.
The biggest advantage that Clemson has over Alabama's that his OC has been there like 12 years.
Yeah.
The tight end coach is the shortest amount of time, and he has 3 years. So as a recruit or a parent, wouldn't you want that kind of knowing that your OC and your coaches are going to be there instead of just leaving every year? It's kind of like the Kentucky syndrome.
Yeah. Well,
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I think sometimes, you look at all the coaches, like you said, that leave Alabama, but you get, and you said the coaches that are in the ACC, especially at Clemson, that have been there for a long time. But people don't really look at that for their decision making. I don't think. I think they just see who's the top dog school, who can I play for the best and the most.
Alabama's got the most amount of people that are leaving for the NFL. I realize they reload and have these 5-star athletes. They also lost some people. Jalen Hurts. He graduated. Kudos to him. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, and he made a good move. I mean, I would love to see him. We talked about this off the air. Love to see him stay in and move to the SEC team. I would have liked to see him going to Kentucky.
That would have been a good spot. That would have been. I talked to somebody else about that. Kentucky would have been a great spot for him.
I think they could have benched Terry, put him in there, let him play that last year. Kentucky wins or gets close to winning the East of the SEC if he would have been there. Oklahoma, Miami was another place that everybody said
Manny Diaz was a great OC down there. They got a lot of rebuilding.
And, I mean, he probably could have fit in, but Oklahoma, with Kyler Murray's leaving, going to baseball, I think that was probably – I didn't really look at and see that fit, but I think he's going to be a really good star down there for that program.
And I think the offense is catered to him already with Kyler Murray. I think baseball is going to give him the $15 million. Yeah. I don't think he plays. It's like I told him yesterday on the air yesterday. He's 5'6". He can play the next 10 years in the MLB, Major League Baseball, and do a lot better and be a lot safer than he would be playing football when you got a 6'9" lineman coming at you. It'd be like me, and Casey's a lot bigger than I am, is taller, and he just runs me over. I mean, it's the same premise. 6'9" and 300 and almost 400 pounds, and you're going to get ran over and you're 5'6".
It's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt.
That was his best move going to baseball. Hands down.
I think he was tricked into it to make the draft attractive, because up to that point, the only quarterback that was looking all right was the guy from Duke and maybe Greer. I mean, I just don't think the quarterback class is very attractive this year.
No.
And I think he was tricked into doing it because they want to, build it up. The stuff going on in February where they go and the all-star games and all that.
I think something too, kind of coincidence. We're talking about Kyler Murray moves on to baseball. Jalen Hurts moves to Oklahoma, which Alabama played against Oklahoma and now is moving to that team. And then you have Notre Dame, who played in the playoffs. Whose quarterbacks are going to UCF.
Winbush
who thinks they're national champions. So, I mean, it's crazy.
The point of it is Notre Dame is out of the question. Done. They're not going to be there again. It'll be another 10 years before they're there. Now, Winbush going to UCF makes them legitimate. I don't care what they say. They may not have been real national champions. They still should have been in the playoffs. Well, not they got their Heinies beat in the actual semi-pro playoff game, but they should have been there. They're undefeated.
I don't think they would have got their Heinies beat. I think they would have had an outing similar to what they had against LSU.
They played well.
But they would have played. They would have scared.
I think so too. Yeah, I think they played well against LSU. I think if they would have had their starting quarterback in there or somebody else,
because you and I watch that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we sat there at the fire hall and watched that game, and I mean, if they would have had any other quarterback, they could have had anybody. I mean, I'm trying to think of somebody who just is not that great right now as far as quarterback wise.
Drew Lock.
Yeah. I mean, they could have had somebody, Drew Lock in there playing. And won. The quarterback they had just was not ready. He was not ready for that game.
No, I mean, being a freshman, and that was his first start. Yeah. So he came in, but yeah.
So do we want to pencil in Clemson? Or if we want to write it in black ink, Clemson.
You pencil it in because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, they have
Trevor Lawrence could,
Yeah, they've got a lot coming back, but I mean, they've got to take a trip to Syracuse, which will be their toughest road game.
Syracuse is going to be legitimate.
And they've got Texas A&M visiting Death Valley on the 7th. So other than that, there's not really anything on their schedule that could give them problems other than the injury bug.
Let's go to Syracuse.
I was going to say one more thing on Clemson real fast. I think Trevor Lawrence gets hurt, Clemson's season over.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because their quarterback is gone. Their backup. They got rid of him because he made that business decision. They better make sure Trevor Lawrence is lifting some weights because he's a skinny kid. Now, Syracuse last year was 10-3. I think they overachieved.
Oh, big time.
I don't think they expected more than 8,
and
maybe 9 wins.
They almost gave Clemson their lone loss. Almost.
They did. They played out of their mind.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think wasn't Syracuse's schedule last year somewhat harder than the previous years that they've had?
It was.
Yeah. And they're touting this one again as another rough year for them because they've got road trips to Maryland, Florida State, Louisville, and North Carolina State. But they do get Clemson at home in the Carrier Dome, which is a tough place to play.
Right.
No doubt. And then your next one is NC State, which they were 9-4. In my opinion, if you make a bowl game, you excelled. You achieved what you wanted to go. You may not have been in the championship, but you're there. So they were 9-4. If that includes a victory, but I think they did all right.
Well, I mean, they only allowed 24.9 points a game and finished second in the ACC against the run. So their defense, which they've always got a good defense, it's the offense that usually struggles for them. They're usually middle of the road. They're going to upset some teams here and there, but 9-4 is generally what they're going to achieve every year.
Boston College underachieved, 7-5. They made a bowl, they're bowl eligible, but I think they're underachieved.
If they make up that game, they're 8-5. They went. I think they beat Boise State.
I think that was a messed up situation too. Looking at that bowl game, I mean, I think that they should have rescheduled that. Why? I mean, and that's something I think a lot of people don't talk about is why couldn't that be rescheduled? I mean, it is a bowl game. It's an extra win for them to put on their season.
Yeah, and they should have just gone ahead and give them the win and give, in my opinion, FSU. So FSU pretty much
big time.
Really underachieved, but you had no line, just like Tennessee. Your quarterback was inconsistent. Your players quit. I believe they quit.
They didn't,
and they got Willie Taggart as a coach. Sorry,
they didn't quit. These are not the people that Willie Taggart has recruited for his offense. Those were Jimbo Fisher's recruits. They were there for the pro style offense that Jimbo Fisher ran. So Willie Taggart comes in and wants to run the run and gun, which I've been screaming for years. They need to do the no huddle run and gun stuff like that, the option and everything. I mean, he's got to get his recruits in. Once he gets his recruits in, Florida State will be all right. But until then, they'll start trickling in this year. I was really happy with the early signing class. I mean, it wasn't high. I mean, as far as what people say, he didn't get 4-star, 5-star. But we've talked a million times that the stars don't matter.
No, it's you get in there and you do what you got to do.
We might
on the other side of the division.
Well, before that, you go to that real fast, Chris. I want to throw in something that a shocker quote here that I think Florida State hasn't been good since Jameis Winston.
Mm-mm.
They weren't good with Jameis Winston.
That's true, but they haven't been good since him either.
We wasn't good with Jameis Winston. We went undefeated and beat Auburn in the national championship game.
Luck does Florida State really well.
When you're stealing crab legs and stuff, it make you do a lot of things.
I will say that I don't like Jameis Winston.
Well, let's go to the other side of the division because
weak. The other side of the division is weak.
Well, I mean, the team that I want to look at over there, if you want to pull them up, would be like Duke. Duke is still going to have a same coaching staff. They got a great quarterback.
They're still going to somehow have a crazy football program with the plays that they pull out and some of the games that they have.
I mean, they got to replace Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that's not going to be easy at all.
I mean, he went basically 30. I mean, he's going to be an NFL player. I don't think he's going to be a starter, but he's going to be a second or third round quarterback.
The thing about that though is David Cutcliffe. He's one of the best when it comes to developing quarterbacks. So I mean,
he knows how to develop them. That's for sure.
Whoever they get to replace Daniel Jones is going to eventually be really, really
and they were
good.
8-5 this year, so that I feel like they achieved.
Yeah,
because there's no expectations at Duke for not like there would be other places.
And trivia question: do you know who Duke opens their season with this year?
No,
they open up in the Mercedes-Benz Dome with the Chick-fil-A Classic against Alabama.
That ought to be a pure win for y'all.
I was going to say, Duke, they don't even have to show up because, I mean, They're going to get blown out of the water.
Duke also plays Notre Dame on November 9th and Syracuse.
Well, we've had this discussion. Notre Dame should be playing all ACC.
So
they struggle against Notre Dame.
And y'all have a new network coming in.
We do. This comes out in the fall. And there's been some underlying grumbles and rumors that could be what pulls Notre Dame away from NBC because Notre Dame is an ACC member in every single sport except football right now.
That's because they get all the money in TV for NBC. All of it. You think they want to share with the rest of the team?
They get tired of people dropping because they're not in the conference and don't deserve to be in the playoffs, which I'm one of them.
I don't want that. The drop is they're in a conference that they're selecting who they want to be in there. You're listening to the Sportz Guys on Nooga Radio 92.7. John Kitzer here. See you in a minute.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A man wrecked his car when he veered into a ditch to avoid a wrong-way driver. It was all caught on dash cam video. It shows a truck driving the wrong way down Cassandra Smith Road in Hickson, narrowly avoiding a collision. And reports say that other driver kept on going. Police are trying to track him down. Hamilton County construction workers broke ground on the new Charles Coolidge Medal of Honor Heritage Center at 10:30 this morning. The new facility will honor the 20 Tennessee Medal of Honor recipients. A Chatsworth man is going to spend the rest of his life behind bars after he pleaded guilty to shooting his wife to death. Cops say Oliver Cannon stole a gun and used it to murder his wife. He then shot himself in an unsuccessful suicide attempt. He was arrested. Reports say the opioid and hepatitis C epidemics might be related due to needle sharing. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
MLS 2239. We will beat any national mortgage company's rate all day, every day, guaranteed. I'm Ben Phillips, and a financial analyst acted upon that statement and called his local mortgage company, Home Rate Mortgage, to buy his dream home. We close the loan in 23 days, while the national guys, they usually close in 40. Home Rate Mortgage is your local mortgage company in Tennessee. Again, Home Rate Mortgage will give you the best rate all day, every day, guaranteed. So let this story be your story and call Home Rate Mortgage today, 805-9100, and there's no cost and no obligation. So why wouldn't you call 805-9100 or HomeRateMortgage.com?
Turn a house into a home rate mortgage.
By now, you'd normally hear a kicker intro bed and me telling you why you need to buy a car or truck. This is not that ad. I want to share with you the great experience that we've had at Z Motors. When Nooga Radio was looking for a Hummer, I went to Z Motors. They have over 100 vehicles on the lot, and Phil was happy to spend all the time necessary with me, point me in the right direction. If you're looking for a Jeep Wrangler, hey, you'll find more Jeep Wranglers there than anywhere in Chattanooga. Pre-owned cars, a slew of Audis, BMWs, from a 1934 Ford truck to a 2017 Volt, a Volkswagen Jetta, and a 2018 Tundra. Plus, they can find any vehicle you're looking for. You're not going to find a big fancy showroom. See, those costs at the big dealerships are added to your purchase price. You want to call Philip at 423-240-8869. That's 240-8869. On Facebook, just search Philip Clark Sales Manager for Z Motors. It's Philip Clark, Sales Manager for Z Motors. Z Motors. They're right on the corner of Hickory Valley and Shellerford Road, in front of Chattanooga Wine and Spirits. And don't forget to say hi to Rhonda, the pretty McCall at the front desk.
Join We've Got You Covered with Scott Schrader every Saturday from 10 to 11 on Nooga Radio. From finance to fixtures, we discuss everything you need to know about buying or owning a home, the pitfalls, the perks, and everything in between. Saturday mornings from 10 to 11, right here on Nooga Radio.
Whether you have marginal, moderate, or even extensive hair loss, you don't have to live with it. Finally, there's a procedure that becomes a part of you, and it requires no daily maintenance or special care. Let Apollo Hair Systems give you a free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 423-803-1011 and schedule this free evaluation today. Open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Apollo Hair Systems, 5512 Ringgold Road in Chattanooga. 423-803-1011 for Apollo Hair Systems.
If an uncertain economy and runaway stock market is making you think twice about how and where to invest, you may need some professional help. Talk to a local husband and wife team who have seen it all. Ron and Christy Adams with One Family Financial. The Adams have helped clients navigate through bull markets, bear markets, recessions, bubbles, and booms. And they have the experience to put your assets to work for you while minimizing risks. Find out how Ron and Christy can keep you on track for a long, happy, worry-free retirement. 423-710-2009 or go to onefamilyfinancial.com.
A few lingering showers still possible through your nighttime hours. Lots of fog and drizzle as well, with temperatures holding into the lower 40s. Now for your Friday, lots of clouds but drier and a little milder. Highs back into the mid-50s. For Saturday, though, more areas of rain with highs near 60. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area, check rlsouthernrealty.com for their complete listings. And I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist at your 4.
The radio 92.7.
The Sportz Guys are back. You're in the last quarter. This is it. The ninth inning, top of the ninth, with the third with 2 outs. Casey Jones, Josh Stone, and myself, Big John Christopher. The Sportz Guys right here on Nooga Radio 92.7. Are you enjoying yourself there, Casey?
I am. I appreciate you letting me come on the show and talk a little bit of sports. Thanks to the Nooga 92.7 for allowing me on here.
Oh, yeah, this is great. I mean, we have a great studios. We have a great time. And the best part is it's us, but it's about you. And you are part of the Sportz Guys, and you make this possible every day. I have people that sponsors and advertisers that enjoy my show, and they tell me it's a fun show. So we do have fun doing this. But I wouldn't do this for as long as I've done this if I didn't have fun and want you to be a part of it. That whole premise of the Sportz Guys is at a big round table, and we're all talking about whatever subject, if it's ACC or whatever, and we're all giving our opinions. That is the premise. It's like Fred the Show, free radio every day. But the Sportz Guys it's about just sitting around, good conversation, nobody gets mad, and just have a conversation about what you think of whatever subject that's going on. That's what the premise is. That's what I've done for 10 years, and that's what I'm going to continue to do the next 10 years. And just to let you know, we're taking this bit to the next level one day soon, and we're going to take you there too. So thank you so much for being a part of the Sportz Guys on Nooga Radio 92.7.
You know, before the break, we were talking about Notre Dame, and I want to talk about a little bit the ACC schedule. But Notre Dame, to have their all other sports be ACC members, the football team has to play a five game swing against ACC schools, which is 1 or 2 away from a full ACC schedule. So
who do they play? I mean, they got Georgia. I know that Notre Dame has Georgia at Athens.
All right, they start out with,
and they have Stanford that's out of conference, and then they have some patsy team.
They got Louisville. They're playing Louisville out of conference.
Well, no, Louisville is in conference.
They're in their conference, but they're playing them. That's an away game for them to start out.
But I think Georgia's away, Louisville's away, Syracuse is away, and they have one other team they play that's not ACC, and it's probably some patsy team. They have Michigan?
Yeah, they play them every year, Michigan and USC.
So they have Michigan and USC. Michigan is underachieved. Harbaugh. But they don't have Winbush as
here you go, right
as
here.
their quarterback.
Their schedule, they're at Louisville, host New Mexico.
That's the patsy team.
At Georgia. Hosting Virginia.
Loss.
Virginia is one of the 2 teams that's supposed to win the Coastal Division in the ACC this year. Hosting Bowling Green.
That's a win.
Hosting Southern California.
That will be a USC win, maybe.
At Michigan.
Michigan will win this year.
Hosting Virginia Tech, which is
Virginia Tech is the other.
They're the other team that's supposed to win the East this year. At Duke, hosting Navy, hosting Boston College, and finishing up at
Navy will beat them.
Oh yeah,
they could look at 2 or 3 losses this year.
Yeah.
I said they lose every on the road game they have for sure.
So you're talking four road losses.
4 road losses.
So you could be like 8-4.
I say they go
12-0.
8-4 will probably be a good
before a bowl game.
Schedule.
So,
I mean, that's typically how Notre Dame rolls. They'll have one good year and think they're national champions, and then turn around and be like 7-5 and 8-4.
Not everybody can be UCF. Not everybody.
No, but you know what? Florida Atlantic is working on being another UCF.
Yes, they are, and they're getting close. We was talking about the schedule. Everybody's touting already that the ACC schedule is arguably the most challenging non-conference for the second year in a row among the 5 power conference schools. And then also this says they play more games, which is 20, against Power 5 competition, including Notre Dame, than any of the peers. ACC teams will play more games against non-conference ranked teams in last year's final AP Top 25 than any other power conference, which is 16. Says the ACC will play 26 games against non-conference opponents that participated in bowl games last season, the highest among Power 5 conference, and ACC teams will play 11 non-conference games against ESPN's 2019 way too early top 25.
So, I mean, you're going to have to. You got a TV network now. They don't want low ratings.
No, and they're beefing up because they're wanting to take that number 1 spot away from the SEC too.
I don't think you can do that.
Not yet.
The Pac-12 has their own network too, but you can't get that on just regular, not basic cable. But
you got to have a package.
No, that's a sports package only.
And you have to stay up until at least 10 o'clock to watch their games.
Yeah, who wants to do that?
They always get the late games, and nobody stays up to watch them.
So,
no respect.
Last segment, and I wanted to get through this scheduling stuff quick because we're going to go over the top 10 NFL teams of all time.
Oh, here we go. You're welcome to comment, drop the mic, however you want to do this, because each week we're going to come up with something interesting for this show.
And I'll go ahead and tell you tomorrow we're doing the top 25 best football movies because we're going to do Movie Friday.
Rudy.
It's on the list. I'm not going to say where, but it's on the list. So, starting this, number 10, the 1978 Pittsburgh Steelers.
I wasn't even alive, but sounds like they were good.
I was 11 years old.
Let's see.
That's the catch.
Yes, that is the catch here.
Yep. So go to
number 8 will be the 1999 St. Louis Rams. That was Super Bowl, Kurt Warner. 1999 Rams.
That's got, let's see.
It was the last time the Rams went to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that one is in Atlanta too, by the way.
Yeah,
the Titans. Remember that was the one where he came up just arm stretch short, was winning the game.
Short, yep.
It was like this,
You don't agree with, because you kind of scoffed a little bit.
I'm kind of, was the Titans fan at the time, so they're not.
You don't agree with that one?
No.
You mean you haven't transitioned to be a Rams fan yet?
No, never will be.
Were you a Kurt Warner fan, though?
No, I thought his wife looked funny.
That doesn't have anything to do with him.
Has nothing to do with him or his on-field
success. I like what he did because he was in the CFL and the Arena Football League and all that. So, yeah, he's all right.
Number 8, the 1998 Denver Broncos.
That'd have been John Elway.
John Elway, Terrell Davis.
Right. That was his last year and last hoorah.
Yep. See, number 7 is the 1984 San Francisco 49ers.
They had Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Who else? Joe Montana.
Yeah, Joe Montana.
Oh, and Dwight Clark.
But they didn't have Jerry Rice in the playoffs.
No, they didn't.
And they went had a 23-0 beating of the Chicago Bears, the team that won the Super Bowl the next year.
Right. With a Super Bowl shuffle.
Yes. Number 6, the 1992 Dallas Cowboys.
That's where Emmitt Smith went crazy.
Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. That was Jimmy Johnson head coach. That was when Dallas had some great teams.
That was the best Dallas Cowboys team you could ask for.
And all of them are a Hall of Fame, and all of them, there's just no other team can compare to that one, in my opinion.
No. Coming in at number 5 is the 1979 Pittsburgh Steelers.
And 14 of those are Hall of Famers now.
Yes. That was the Steel Curtain, by the way.
4 Super Bowl wins in one decade, 14 players to the NFL Pro Bowl.
One could argue that the Pittsburgh Steelers are one of the greatest franchises in history.
Not lately, they're not.
Well, not lately.
Antonio Brown has proven that.
If they can get rid of Big Ben, they'd be a lot better.
Yeah, now they're saying he's going to play till he's 40 years old. I'm going to be in a cane by the time he gets done
He's
playing.
no Brett Favre. He needs to give it up.
I'm excited to see your expression for the number 14.
Oh, I'm fixing to roll my eyes, and I just looked over. Come on, folks.
The 2007 New England Patriots.
They cheated. They cheated then. They cheat now.
Deflategate.
Come on. I knew. That's just like dropping the mic here.
Well, they dropped the football, but it just didn't have as much air in it, is what it was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on.
Number 3, the 1989 San Francisco 49ers.
That's like got Taylor, Craig, Ronnie Lott,
Montana, and Rice. And they did have Rice in the playoffs that year.
7 playoff appearances, 3 Super Bowl victories. Third strongest defense ever.
And arguably the best coach ever, the late Bill Walsh.
It was that, and they had that that's where the West Coast offense came from.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Montana and Rice stayed many years after that.
I think that was Montana's last year.
That was his last year, I believe.
Let me just say, that's wrong.
Number 2, I agree 100%.
Wrong.
And I haven't seen number 1 yet, so I don't know. But number 2 is the 17-0, the only perfect team ever, the 1972 Miami Dolphins.
Wrong. Number 1 already.
I agree with the number 1, but you can make a claim for number 1. Number 1 is the 1985 Chicago Bears. The one
that should be 2, and that 72 should be 1.
Why are you moving Miami to 1 versus Chicago over 1?
Because they're 17 and older. There's no one ever done this.
It's the Miami Dolphins.
It's the 72 Miami Dolphins. I mean, really?
No,
are you shaking your head over there, Alabama man? I mean, come on now.
The fun fact about this, though, the only loss that the 85 Chicago Bears had that season was against the Miami Dolphins. Don Shula, Miami Dolphins.
They said something on there about it being an easy schedule.
That for the 74 Dolphins, yeah. And also, just to stay with the NFL thing here.
Yeah.
Matt Hasselbeck was contacted this season by an NFL team that was in the playoffs.
Matt Hasselbeck couldn't throw the ball farther than I can. He's what, 50 now?
He's done.
He's been done. That's why he's on TV.
This says the NFL teams were so desperate for quarterbacks with a track record of success, they were calling Matt Hasselbeck 3 years after he retired.
Look, you know who you could call if you're going to go that route? Jared Lorenzen.
The thing is, the NFL is not hurting for quarterbacks if they just look to people with strengths. I mean, look at the Carson Wentz, Nick Foles. I mean,
you're going to get rid of Foles over your draft pick, which you're paying good money for.
Right.
But he has gotten you to the NFC champ, got you to the divisional round. Then he got you a Super Bowl, and he was MVP while Carson Wentz sit on the side
and watched him.
And you're going to turn around and tell me he ain't crying to somebody, to Jeffrey Lurie, about let's move team. Give me a break.
Yeah. So this all these coaches and everybody whining about how there's no, quarterbacks coming to the NFL that are good. They're out there. You just, you're getting rid of the ones that you don't want to put up with that are actually doing better for you than anybody else that you can pick.
I'm fixing to 800-8949, 800-8949. But you got a quarterback out there that might still have something in his arm, but he's been blackballed. You want to call Hasselbeck, but you got a quarterback in Kaepernick sitting out there that might.
He's not sitting though; he's still kneeling.
Whatever he's doing, you gotta. You won't even give him a shot. I'm not saying you should, but Matt Hasselbeck, really?
He wouldn't have
He
played.
wasn't even
anyways.
a good quarterback when he was playing.
No, and the injuries that he would have in the first game, he'd be done for the season.
I mean, you brought back what's his name from Vanderbilt? Played for Miami last year because they didn't want Tannehill. And they paid him $1 million.
Well,
really?
Talking about, I can't think.
Cutler, Jay Cutler.
Yeah, Jay Cutler.
It was coming to me. I just had to think. But you're going to pay $1 million for Jay Cutler, who was going to be on TV, and he gives up TV to go play $1 million. I'd do it too.
Yeah.
He looked horrible.
Hasselbeck is not disclosing which team it was.
Of course not, because he probably wasn't the team in the first place.
Well, no, he said all he's saying is he received a phone call from a playoff contending team at some point in 2018 asking him if he was in shape and available to sign. And it was while he was discussing why he retired from the league, and the one contributing factors was a hit to the jaw from Houston Texans linebacker Whitney Marsalis while playing for the Indianapolis Colts. Hasselbeck stated he wasn't eating solid food for a couple of weeks. Said they tested him for a concussion. It wasn't, but he couldn't hear out of his right ear. He's
done.
He heard a joint near his ear, so you get rid of those crown of the helmet hits. You get rid of a full body weight of falling on a player.
If I was guessing at what team actually called him, I'm going with the Chargers.
Had to have been.
I agree with that.
Because they know that was their last hoorah.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Making it there, that was it. That was as far as they were going, and they will not do that. They will not repeat that next year.
No.
Could it have been the Titans?
No.
You don't think it was the Titans?
No, they had what's his name that used to be the starting quarterback. No.
I'm trying to think outside the
Gabbert,
boxes.
Gabbert. Well, they had Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah.
Trying to think other teams that were
It had to be.
contenders.
You're right. It had to be the Chargers.
I think hands down it had to be the Chargers because of the way. They played pitiful anyways when they played.
About Carolina. Cam Newton
Let's
was
talk
hurt.
about. We got 4 minutes left.
Cam Newton was hurt.
Cam Newton
after that Pittsburgh game.
They're going to sit Cam
Possibly.
Newton. No, they're going to. Cam Newton's going to sit. This is his last year of his contract. He's going to get paid.
Well, it's not his decision.
The team is going to sit
It's the new
him.
owner. He said he's discussing every option available to get Cam Newton healthy, including sitting him for the 2019 season.
If they sit him, I don't think he's going to sit for the entire season.
No.
If whoever's going to start as quarterback for them,
his shoulder's not ready. He needs a whole year.
Well, he's got to have a surgery, which he's getting, but it just depends on his recovery. He might not. He might miss the first few weeks of minicamp in July. But
I would sit him.
He won't sit. He's not going to sit. He wants to play and he wants to be in Carolina.
I just don't think that they need a backup.
Yeah, we need a backup.
They don't need a Matt Hasselbeck backup.
They don't need a Matt. They need somebody. They got the guy from Stanford whose dad was an NFL player, and he's a hoss. But I'll tell you, everybody's gonna think I'm crazy. And I said this on an opposing sports show before I even got this gig. Renfro from Clemson reminds me of Julian Edelman. He is going to be a late first round, early second round pick.
I saw a video today on one of my sports apps, and it was making fun of Edelman. It was an overthrown ball, and they had him mic'd up, and he was laughing with the charge. There was the Chargers. They're playing the Chargers. It wasn't this season, I don't think. But it was an overthrown ball, and he was saying, "Come on, man, I had it." And Chargers was like, "You got to catch that. You got to catch that." And he said, "I'm not tall enough." I just thought that was funny.
But what I'm saying is, Renfro, based on what I've seen the last 4 years, he is a number 1 first round receiver. He is a Amari Cooper.
That's a big step to throw out there.
I don't think
he is that. He may not be the size.
Who's the other?
But he can catch. You put the ball near him, he's going to catch it.
Who was the other little receiver for the Patriots? I'm blanking on his name right now. We were just talking about him the other day.
I don't remember.
Short.
Yeah, but the point of it is there's I'm excited for certain things, and I'm interested to see where Mr. Renfro ends up being, because I think he's going to end up being like the Raiders. I think the Raiders take him in the first round. They got 4 picks.
Wes Welker,
who plays for the Raiders.
I don't think that the wide receiver is going to be the first pick, though.
No, I'm not saying first pick. They're going to get an edge rusher first pick.
Right.
This should be a defensive heavy draft, in my opinion.
They're saying Bosa is going to go to Arizona. I think he will go there, and where they send people to just die. Arizona.
Like I said, I agree with you on the defensive heavy draft. I mean, I think that in the first couple rounds, but like you said, we were talking about earlier, everybody's complaining about not having good quarterbacks. So quarterbacks are going to have to go at some point. And there's some decent ones that
Dwayne Haskins will probably go to the Giants.
So,
and I think
Eli's out. Eli's done.
He's done. He's worse than Matt Hasselbeck. He was throwing ducks just like his brother, and I love his brother.
I wouldn't say he was as bad as Matt Hasselbeck, though.
Well, we're about to get out of here. We are the Sports Guys. We have finished Thursday edition of the Sports Guys. Thank you so much for being a part of our show. We'll be back tomorrow to close out the week. It is Movie Friday. Follow us on the Sports Guys on Facebook. If you would like to do some advertising or be a sponsor of this show, contact Chris Clanton at Nuga Radio 927, and he will get a hold of you. Always remember Roll Tide. Always remember Go Balls. We'll see you soon. We're out of here. Bye.
The station you hear everywhere. Nuga Radio 927. 3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A man with ties to Chattanooga charged with raping a Maryland woman in a